It's a very good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Bet Goodwin Oxford Stadium here as you join us on Oxford TV for a WSRA National League clash this afternoon as the Oxford Chargers, they entertain the Leicester Lion Cubs. This afternoon, these two guys have already met. They met this morning in what was a fantastic 44-all draw in the end, an odd scoreline we don't normally see, and then the Chargers took it on a soup heap, but we'll look into that in a little bit more detail as the afternoon ticks on. My name's Lee Kilby. I'll take you through today's action. I'm delighted to be joined by my regular Chargers co-host, Luke Killeen. Warm enough for you, Luke?
Definitely. No, it's great weather.
Great weather. It is very, very warm today. We were just talking about it, and it's cooking on track. So as you can imagine, the Bowser has been out since we got here. They're trying to get as much water into that surface as they possibly can. So with that meeting this morning, let's just take a quick look at the table and what that meeting does do. And that victory for Oxford is it takes them to the top of the National League. It's still very early days. As you can see, Leicester there in fourth. They've only had 3 meetings. It was their first one at home today, and it ended up being a real close one. But a win away at Leicester, that's just terrific for the Oxford boys this morning, isn't it, Luke?
Yeah, definitely. You know, the fact it went down to a super heat shows it was definitely a good meeting. I didn't get to see that. You know, I didn't get to see that meeting myself, but no, I could imagine it was great, and hopefully that is a show of what we'll see tonight. Yeah,
absolutely, and it's just good to be up there. It's good to be at the top, but at this level, it is all about the progression, and not many have progressed as much as that man on screen, Jody SCOTT.
Yeah, that's it. You know, he's had a blinder of a year so far. Last year, he picked up some guest bookings here, and I think, not sure if he became permanent in the Cheetahs side, but yeah, definitely had some good meetings at the end of last year, and it's shown in this year.
And that man there, you know very well, he's moved out of reserve. We'll talk about the sides in a minute, obviously, but he's gone from reserve up into the main body. It's a big change.
Yeah, that's huge for him. He's definitely shown that, you know, that work he put in over the off seasons made a huge difference to probably mainly his confidence, but no, his ability on the bike too, and yeah, it's starting to pay off. Yeah,
and 4 paid 6 this morning. He'll be absolutely delighted with that, I would have thought. So yeah, the Chargers are looking strong. There is a couple of changes to both sides, which we will look into when we go through the teams. And what we'll do is we'll start with the Leicester Lion Cubs. They've got Ben Morley in at number 1. Ben Trigger's picked up a shoulder injury, so he's out of that side today. So it will be Ben Morley at number 1, vastly experienced rider at this level, Ben. At number 2 is a rider who's relatively new to me, Harry Fletcher. Harry comes in at number 2, and he's in for Eli Meadows. Eli Meadows again picked up an injury, crashed a nasty crash at Plymouth. Took a bit of a bang to the head, so he's sitting this one out. I've just actually spoke to him in the pits. Eli, he's okay, but yeah, he can't ride today. So Harry Fletcher, who's up at Bellevue, he will come in. There was a rider replacement at 3 for Max Perry, who crashed this morning. He was crashed into by Sonny Springer. And if we jump to Jamie Etherington at 4, Jamie Etherington is in for Sonny Springer. Because Max and Sonny had a crash together today. It puts both of them out of the meeting this evening. So Jamie's accepted a very late call up to come into the side at 4. At 5, a man who's riding really well at the moment, Max James. I spoke to him earlier on. He likes this track. He goes well here. He's won the league with Leicester. And again, he's starting to really, really establish himself at this level. Looking to move up permanently, I would imagine, to the next level in the next couple of years. At number 6, it's Ryan Ingram. It's his debut season, so again, it's a track he might have ridden on in 250s, potentially. I'm not too sure, but it'll be good to see him today, potentially for the first time here at Oxford. And then at number 7, a man who's making lots of noises, lots of waves. Cooper Rushen, we'll talk a bit more about him in a second, but he's in at reserve, and as we know, he can take 7 rides, and it wouldn't surprise me if he does get that full quota. And team manager Jen Crossland, she's had work to do today with all those changes, but Leicester coming in, they're a strong side, and especially with Cooper at 7, Luke.
Yeah,
we'll touch more on those. That's okay. We'll touch more on those in a minute. Let's go straight into the Oxford team. The man we've already picked up on, Jody SCOTT, he's in great form. He's really, really established himself at number 1 and captain in this side this season. Senna up at 2. Look at that 8-point average. You'd be absolutely delighted with that. It's going to be a test for him at 2, jumping out of the reserve up into the main body. Races get tougher. But you know, his progression is really, really, really good this season, so hopefully he'll be able to manage that number 2 race jacket. Arran BUTCHER. Aaron had a decent meeting this morning back at his old side. He scored 6 points up there this morning, and he's in that engine room of the team, as I call it, with Ashton VALE. Ashton had a bit of a tricky one this morning. He did have an off this morning. He's picked up a couple of points, but we all know what he's capable of around here. So Ashton at 3 and Aaron at 4, they could be a Arran at 3 and Ashton 4. They could be pivotal to the charges this afternoon. A guest at number 5, Jacob Cloughton. Again, he crashed this morning, so he's out of this evening's afternoon meeting. And it'll be Freddy HODDER. He was on speed dial for Peter Schroeck, and he accepted the call, and he's got himself down into guest, and a very strong guest there at number 5. Max Broadhurst, the lad that's learning as he's going, son of Wayne, obviously, who used to ride more my era than a lot of people's. But Max, yeah, he's doing okay. He's learning as he's going, and he's in a side there where he should be able to pick up his 2 or 3 points, and the rest of the team get the victory over the line. And yeah, Darryl RITCHINGS dropping down to 7 is an odd one, and the anomaly is the fact that he hasn't done enough meetings with the average change, so he's retained that 5.01 average, which sees him drop down to reserve. And Peter Schroeck, obviously, he's overseeing all 3 teams here. I had a chat with Peter on earlier, and he was saying that having Cooper and Darryl at reserve, potentially they need to look at how the teams are set up at this level. Because the natural thing is that you want to win. Yes, it is about bringing the kids on and bringing the riders on and giving them track time. But when you've got the likes of Cooper and Darryl at 7, the natural thing is just to give them 7 rides, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I don't think Darryl should be at reserve, and I don't think Cooper should be either. But that's the way the averages work, and no, I think both sides are definitely going to make full advantage of that situation. Yeah,
and you end up going toe to toe. You end up going toe to toe with the other team manager. So what we'll do is we're delighted that we've got Laura back in the pits with us this evening. So let's head over to the pits and catch up with her. Laura, over to you.
Thank you very much, and it's lovely to be back. So we're going to have a walk through the pits, have a look at the Leicester team just as they're getting ready to go out on parade. It's a busy day for them with their 2 meetings, so you can see them all brushing themselves down, maybe doing a really quick clean from earlier on today. It's only about an hour and a half up the road, so not too far to come, but still a busy day. We didn't finish until 4 o'clock, maybe, at Leicester. Hot weather conditions, as you can see, so just using the clutch cooler there to kind of a personal aircon unit, which I don't blame him for. It's a very warm afternoon in Oxfordshire. What can we say about this young man? He had a fantastic afternoon earlier on today, 7 rides. Darryl RITCHINGS did get the better of him a couple of times there, and unfortunately for Cooper, he crashed out in the superheat, but I'm sure he'll be looking to redeem himself on this return leg at Oxford. So let's make our way down to the Oxford team. I've got to say, spirits are very high in this side of the camp. Some concentration going on there with Senna and Jody, who both had fantastic afternoons today. Senna moving up into the team and definitely rose to the occasion. Just moving down. Again, as you can see, everyone is very warm. And just a few little team talks going on. Smiles on the faces, getting themselves ready and raring to go. Obviously, we did unfortunately lose Jacob earlier on today. So we had Freddy HODDER step in at the last minute. So thank you very much to Freddy HODDER for cancelling whatever his Sunday afternoon plans were to come and race for us here at Oxford. But the guys are just getting ready to go out on parade here. So I will hand you back over to Luke and Lee.
Yeah, really good to have Laura down in the pits today. She'll bring us some rider interviews as the night goes on, and as the meeting progresses. So let's go back, Luke. We'll go back to the 2 sides, and as we look down those 1 to 7s, we've already said about the reserves, Darryl RITCHINGS and Cooper Rushen. Having a rider of that quality down there, and it's different because they're at different types of their career, aren't they? I mean, Cooper's just beginning; he's already hit the ground running, but they're going to get their full quota. There's no question about that.
Yeah, for sure. I think Cooper obviously hasn't done enough meetings to earn himself an average yet, so that's why he's down there, and it just shows that the Chargers side's full of riders who are going to progress, and the fact that just because Darryl's average didn't change, it means he's down at reserve. So with a 5-point rider at reserve, that is very strong. Yeah,
it definitely is, and I think we saw it this morning. I think in that 44-all draw, yeah, Cooper got 18 plus 1 this morning, and again he took his full 7, as did Darryl, who got 13 plus 2. But Darryl actually went out from heat 12. He did 13, 14, 15, and then the super heat. That's in this heat. That's some serious toll, isn't it, on you and bike?
Yeah, definitely. The bike would have taken a beating there, for sure, and I'm sure Darryl would have felt the heat too. but no, it's things that you've got to do, and it's obviously he's a big reason that the team won this afternoon.
So just talk to us about that physically, because you obviously generally you get a ride, then you get a couple off, then you're back on again. That's manageable. But when you are 60 seconds of intense riding and physical outlay, and then you only get like 2-3 minutes probably from the moment you get off the bike to back on, to do that 5 times on the trot, that's some serious going.
Yeah, that's huge. You know, it's I don't know, like I've had 2 on the bounce here and there, and that's definitely manageable, but I think 5's that's a big task at hand, so fair play that he cracked on and he still scored in those rides.
Because the pull on your arms is immense, isn't it? And that's what a lot of people that don't ride the bikes don't know, is that you're holding on to that bike that wants to get away from you. So it's almost, a lot of riders get arm pumped, don't they? Where the end of the forearms get really, really stressed out because of the pull on the bike.
Yeah, and you know that lactic acid build-up does cause the arm pump, and no, it's definitely an intense minute. You're not just sat on the bike turning the throttle, but no, it's definitely not an easy sport, physical, like, you know, talking physically, and yeah, I mean to do 5 races on the bounce is definitely very intense. It's
pretty impressive, eh? So Freddy HODDER, he's a really strong reserve for Jacob today, isn't he? That's a good one from Peter to bring him into the action this afternoon.
Yeah, he's definitely a good replacement. You know, they'll definitely get their money's worth, and yeah, hopefully he can do the same job as Jacob, maybe better. Yeah, and there's a couple of riders, like I say, in the Leicester lineup that are relatively new names to me in Harry FLETCHER and Ryan INGRAM. Are they riders that you've had much? You've raced against them or come across them much? Yeah, I think the Plymouth when we had the under-21 qualifier, I think Harry was at number 17.
Okay.
And Ryan was in the full lineup. So no, I have ridden against them once or twice, and no, I've heard of Ryan probably mid last year. We needed a guest, but he wasn't quite old enough, and he looked like he knew what he was doing. So we got in touch, but no, he couldn't. He wasn't old enough.
Yeah, I love it when we get a rider come to track that I haven't really seen before, and I find that, you know, to see how they get on and how they develop race to race, and that'll be the key for them riders in that Leicester lineup that potentially haven't been here that many times. It's all about going out riding, learning from that, and then going out again and trying to improve on what you've just done. But it's difficult when you don't get any practice at a track, isn't it? And then you just jump on and you're in racing. Yeah,
that's a small issue. You know, we see out in Poland, they've got their a couple of riders from each team get to do a couple practice sessions. But no, here in the UK, you know, you're lucky if you get to put your helmet on parade and do a couple of practice starts. But no, I think sometimes, you know, going in blind and not having a chance to overthink what you're doing is definitely a big bonus.
Yeah, that's right. And we were talking. I was talking to Peter Schroeck earlier on, and he was saying about the makeup of the teams at National League level, because yeah. As soon as you, I mean, we spoke about this before. As soon as you put your helmet on, you want to win. Regardless of what race you're going into, you want to win it. And from a manager's perspective, like Peter's, I'm very much about trying to give all the boys their full quota of rides, make sure everybody gets as much track time, everybody's progressing. But it's hard for him when ultimately you don't want to come off the back end of a meeting with a loss, do you? So, you know, your mindset changes as the meeting goes on to, yes, track time for everybody, but we want to get this win over the line.
That's it, and you know, sometimes you have to bite the bullet and accept the fact that you only get 3 rides that night, and if that means the team's winning, then, you know, yeah, you've just got to learn to be a team player and sort of accept that.
Yeah, because like for instance this morning, Max BROADHURST for the Charge had 2 last places, then he got a second, which I think was pretty much a given of a second, I think. And then he only had his 3 because, and Pete was saying to me, look, if I didn't bring him out and put Darryl RITCHINGS in and we lost the meeting, everybody be going, why didn't you bring Darryl RITCHINGS in? So he's kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't, isn't he?
Yeah, that's it. You know, it puts him in a sticky situation because a rider won't be happy if they're taken out of a ride, I'm sure. You know, sometimes I get a little bit frustrated when it happens in the Spires, but no, I mean, yeah, you just got to sort of bite your tongue and accept it, and yeah, it's a team sport, so we've got to try and be team players.
And without giving too much away from what Peter talks about, when he takes you out of a ride, is there, I know it's all happening in quick time in an actual meeting, but is there much of a reason as to why, or is it just, look, X is riding, I think X is going to get more out of this than you are, so I'm pulling you out of it? Is that it? Is that what you get?
That's basically it. You know, you don't really tend to get a reason for it. Right. It just happens. But, you know, like you just mentioned, everything's happening so fast, you've not really got time to sort of give a reason. And no, you just, I mean, I try and take it on the chin, and just pushes me harder to do better on my next ride, so I can keep getting all 4 rides.
Yeah, use it to your advantage. So we can see the track there. Obviously, as much water there. Jamie and Wayne have been trying to get onto that surface this afternoon. It is super, super hot. It's been quite windy the last few days, but today it's humid, it's muggy. There is no wind in the air, which, to be honest, will help the track, and as in not drying out. But it's so hot. As I look down from our vantage point up here, I can still see where there is water on the surface, which is good at this point. But it's a fine line between overwatering and killing it and getting the right amount of water into the surface, as we saw at Birmingham the other day when they flooded it against Sheffield.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough one. I don't know, like you need that moisture in the track, and sometimes you just got to accept the fact that it'll be wet in the first couple, but by the time a few bikes go round, a few races have gone, it mixes the dirt round, mixes that water in, and makes for some great racing.
And has the track been consistent here this year? Have you found meeting to meeting that it's been the same, or is it always changing?
It's been relatively different here and there, but no, that meeting we had against, I believe it was Edinburgh, and then that Spires meeting against Birmingham, they were fairly similar and really good. That outside line was working. Seemed there's a bit more material on there, and it was seeming to hold the water better as well. So that outside line was working, and hopefully some of the boys this afternoon will make the most of that. Yeah,
and the one thing that we do say is Wayne and Jamie work so hard on that track. They put so much in, as do all the guys that help them. Them two I always talk about, but there are more people around them that put in lots of work. So fair play to them. They're trying to get us the best racing surface we can get here, and it's always different when you prepare for the charges. You prepare that track differently than you would for the cheaters or the Spires. So it's not a simple process. So the two sides are lining up. They will be coming across for the parade. We'll have a quick parade. We're just ticked past 1:30, so we're probably going to be 5 or 10 minutes away from heat number 1. Chris Gaze, our referee this afternoon, he will have his finger on the button, so to speak. As we've said, Freddy HODDER in for Jacob Cloughton for the home side. And then there's Ben Morley, Harry Fletcher and Jamie Etherington. They've come in for Trigger, Meadows and Springer for the away side. And an unexpected R&R. It would have been nice to see Max Perry here this afternoon. So a few rider changes, so a bit of work for people to do in their programmes. And a bit of work for the managers to do. So the two sides will come over. They'll have a brief intro. We'll try and listen in for the coin toss and see who picks what. And then we'll be moving on swiftly with heat number 1. Have you managed to have a look at the track today, Luke, or not? Did you get yourself out there?
No, I haven't had a walk around it, but looking from the outside, I did say, as I spotted it from the distance, I wish I was riding this afternoon. Track does look really good, and I think it should make for some great racing. Yeah,
I put a lap in before I came upstairs, and it just seemed consistent all the way round. Grip on the outside, there's definitely material on the outside, and that's where they were trying to get the water into that material. And I thought all the gates looked pretty even. But as we see here week on week, you can start, like 1 and 3 were so prominent the other day, but you can still do stuff off the other 2 gates. There always seems to be an avenue here where you can get something off of all 4 gates.
Yeah, the gates seem a lot more like they did last year, and with the cheaters, we all loved them, and that back end of the season I did with the Spires, we loved them there too. So no, I think they're seeming a lot more like last year, which is possibly giving us a bit more of a home track advantage.
Yeah, and again, you want a fair racetrack, but you also need a home track advantage. So I think we're just having a bit of a moment for Mike Patrick, the Speedway photographer that passed away. A lovely guy, Mike, somebody I knew very well. So I think we will just have a minute of silence. He spent a lot of time here. That famous photograph he took of Hans Nielsen where he's led on the track and Hans Nielsen's pulling the wheelie past him. Probably one of the most famous Speedway photos, to be honest. That was taken here in 84, 85, I think it probably was. So we will... that was a minute of applause. So we'll just keep quiet for the minute while they do the minute of applause. Well observed, as you can imagine, and I pretty much guarantee that everybody that follows Speedway has seen a Mike Patrick photograph. He stopped taking snaps before you started, Luke, for sure, but he's a name you must have heard of for sure.
I've only heard of the name over that, since his passing and all the mentions for him. But no, I know that photo of Hans very well, and I've seen that time and time again. And yeah, what an iconic photo.
Yeah, there's so many that he's taken down the years that you unless you knew Mike and you wouldn't necessarily know they're his photos. But everybody within Speedway would have seen his photos, and he was when he first started, he used to wear these like colourful checkered trousers, so he would stand out like a mile away, and you just knew you could see him at the track. So yeah, very sad. We pass our respects and condolences on to his family and close friends, but somebody that the sport won't ever forget. A lovely guy, and I'm sure he'll be having applause and minutes of silence up and down the country at all meetings over the course of this coming week. So we're just getting a quick Q&A with both the captains, Max James and Jody SCOTT, and then we'll just listen in and see if we can't see who wins that toss and what gates they're going to take.
We're going to move on this evening, so Max, let's get you to call then for the toss gate positions. And it comes down tail, so you have the choice of taker. 1 and 3. Okay, so 1 and 3 in heat number 1.
1 and 3 heat 1.
For Leicester, yeah.
Leicester 1 and 3 heat 1. Not a surprise, I don't think. It tends to be the norm, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think everyone seems to take those inside gates early on, try and get their nose in front on the scoreboard, and hopefully they'll want to try and control the meeting from there.
See, I always think, I don't know, in my head it's important to get a good start, obviously, because you want to get a good start, and then that takes a little bit of pressure off your reserves going out in heat 2. But I also think part of me would almost give my reserves the preferred gates. I don't know. It's hard. It's different for everybody, I suppose.
Yeah, that's it. And it's if you look through the numbers, if you start at 2 and 4, you end up with 1 and 3 in heat 13. So that's a really important heat. Heat number 13, and to have those preferred gates later on, it makes a huge difference.
Swings and roundabouts. Do you use that phrase? Swings and roundabouts? Do you have that in Australia?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
It basically means what you get or you don't get, you get back later on, and what goes around comes around, and all those kind of things. It is very much swings and roundabouts, and we've seen that here. And again, I think if you lose the toss, the away team takes 1 and 3 as they've done here, it might swing back in our favour when we get to the back end of the meeting.
Yeah, I mean, gate 4's it good early on, and it sort of seems to lose its bite after the first couple. So, to try and get the most out of 2 and 4 early on, and then as that fades away, you can get your gate 1 and 3.
And obviously, as the track develops, we'll see what happens with that kind of outside run going into turn 1 and then into 2. But if you get gate 4 later on, is your mind almost thinking of the cutback, the switch up the inside? Is that an option?
Yeah, it's definitely an option. But most people off the inside, especially in the heats later on, will try and stick to that curb and block that inside run. So generally, you've got to make a good handful of the start, and then if you hang it wide, sometimes you can squeeze around the outside. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how this meeting develops today. But we've definitely got 2 very good teams. Leicester find themselves middle to bottom of the table, but it is really early days. They haven't really done much in anger in the league yet. Most of the boys will have been on track because a lot of them are riding in the national trophy as well, aren't they?
Yeah, it's that's a great league, a great opportunity for these boys. When I was doing the national league, you got 5 home, 5 away because there's only 6 teams in the league. So it makes a huge difference for bike time, confidence, and learning little tricks that work for you as well. The more time you spend on the bike, the more you're going to learn.
So if you were racing at this level this year, you'd obviously be with the Chargers. If you could pick a second team in the trophy, is there a track that you'd like to have ridden at?
I personally really like Leicester. I don't know. I think for me in 2023 something clicked when I was there.
Okay.
I seemed to ride a lot smoother after having a meeting there, and then that applied for me everywhere. So it's very similar to the track we've got in Perth, Pinjar Park, and I think maybe that's something to do with it. But I seem to smooth it out at that point.
Yeah, because Leicester, they've obviously got a side in the trophy as well, and then you've got Plymouth, Kent, Birmingham and Kings Lynn. And Kings Lynn have put together a team that I don't think they're going to get beaten by anybody at national trophy level. That team's really strong. So I think they're going to go through the card, but it's brilliant that they've got that second league, that second track, that second group of meetings. I think it's massively beneficial, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's great that, you know, most clubs have that now, and the fact is these boys who are doubling up in the trophy and the league, they're going to be able to ride most of the tracks and have that experience under their belts by the time they make that step up to the upper two leagues.
Just talk to me about Sonny Springer quickly. Unfortunately, Sonny crashed this afternoon. I think he was on a 5-1 with Max, and they came together and came down. They're both out of the meeting this evening. But this was going to be Sonny Springer's last meeting. He's obviously quit the sport. He made a statement earlier in the week. It's tough losing a kid that's, you know, clearly had some talent, was clearly very good, and it's disappointing for whatever reasons that we see him leaving the sport, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, he seemed to have a bit of hunger about him, and definitely the capability of making something out of the sport. And it's sad to see those young boys dropping out, but, you know, before they really get to prove to themselves and prove to everyone else what they're actually capable of.
Yeah, it would have been good to see him stick it out. Well, we hope he's well, obviously, because he's had that incident earlier on. So we wish him well. We hope he's okay after that crash. What it does do is it gives us the opportunity to see Jamie Etherington, who actually scored a 21-point maximum against Oxford up at Scunthorpe earlier in the season, well, earlier this month. So yeah, Jamie Etherington racked in a 21-point max against us, shall we say.
I did see, I stayed back for that Chargers meeting at Scunthorpe, and I seen he was riding well. I didn't realise it was, full house.
For the full quota, yeah. Wow. Yeah, fair play to him. He'd obviously got everything dialed in that day. And went through the card. So we are looking 1 minute and 30 seconds until the start of heat number 1. Chris Gay, our referee, he's got those 2 minutes on. We're going to see Jody SCOTT and Senna SUMMERS coming out for the home side, and a couple of guests in Ben Morley and Harry Fletcher for the away side. Be good to see. We've had 2 home meetings for the Chargers so far, and we've had 5-1s in both those meetings. Are we going to get a third 5-1 in Heat 1 here?
Fingers crossed. Slightly different lineup, obviously, because Senna's moved up to number 2 now. So I didn't tell him that stat earlier on. I kept that one from him. Keep the pressure off.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to give him that bit of pressure. But we've started like missiles in the last couple of home meetings. So we're looking to do the same thing, but up against Ben Morley. He's a rider of massive experience, Ben, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'd heard of his name before I'd even come over. You know, so. He's definitely been around a while, and I'm actually quite surprised he's not got that opportunity in the championship.
Yeah, I think he's been there a couple of times, but here we go. We'll see what he can produce today, guesting for Leicester. So we will see. Heat number 1, sponsored by the Oxford Stadium. It's going to be Harry Fletcher off the inside in the yellow helmet colour, guesting today for Leicester. Off gate 2 in blue will be Senna SUMMERS. Gate 3, guesting for Leicester as well, will be Ben Morley in white, and off of gate 4 in red will be the skipper of the home side, Jody SCOTT. So 44-44, there is an aggregate point on the line today following that meeting this morning, and it's all to play for, with that score ending up level. So we are Jody SCOTT, Senna SUMMERS, Ben Morley, Harry Fletcher, heat number 1. Here we go, WSRA National League action, tapes go up and away we go, and it was a good start from Senna, but he lifted. Keep an eye on Jody SCOTT, he's out wide. It was a good start from Ben Morley as well as they come down the back straight. This could well develop into 2 separate heats. Jody looking to put an early move round the outside of Ben Morley. Got 2 heats in one here, Luke.
Yeah, it's great racing here. It's Jody's working that outside. I think he's working it, and he's just got there now. That's a great move. Just persistent at the outside line, and it's clearly working. Yeah,
he definitely made that work. Like Luke said, he stuck to that outside run, pinned it for the 2 laps leading up to that move, and he's got himself out front from Ben Morley. And in that battle for 3rd place, Senna SUMMERS, he's definitely now got the better of young Harry Fletcher, and 3rd place is pretty comfortable. This one's just settling down a little bit. Jody looking good out front.
Yeah, Jody's flying. He's smooth and fast as always. It's great to see. As we said before, he's coming on really strong, and he's proven that once again.
Yeah, and an awesome overtake to get our meeting off and running this afternoon from Jody SCOTT. He takes the checkered flag from Ben Morley with Senna SUMMERS in 3rd. So it might not be the 5-1 that we've had in the first couple, but it is a heat advantage. And at the end of the day, Peter Schroeck will take the heat advantage.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So excellent work from Jody. Stuck to that outside line early on. He'll come around and take the applause, which we always like to see. And a win off of gate 4, like you said.
Absolutely. No, it's really good early on. You know, the gates are even, and no, he obviously didn't make the best handful out at the start, but he persisted at the outside line and yeah, worked out Ben Morley pretty quick.
Yeah, he certainly did. So he took the win. Jody SCOTT. Second was Ben Morley. Third, Senna SUMMERS. Harry FLETCHER learning as he's going at the back there. So 4-2 to the Chargers in heat number 1, and that just gives them a 2-point lead on aggregate at the moment. So we can see it from the start. Senna lifted, and that essentially killed his battle with Ben Morley. But a good trap from Ben. And then Jody you can see his thoughts straight away, can't you? He's gone nice and wide, pinned it to the outside, and like you say, he just worked that line really well, didn't he?
Yeah, and Ben was shutting that door every time coming into the next bend. But no, Jody sort of bided his time and yeah, made a handful of that extra grip on the outside.
I know he's been around a couple of years now, but he's almost riding beyond his years for me. I mean, it's a really intelligent ride, really sensible. He looks in complete control. Really.
That's it, and you know, thinking on the bike too, making the most of those 4 laps.
Yeah, fair play to him. He gets that heat 1 checkered flag as we move on to heat number 2, and a couple of big hitters. And again, this one may well break into 2 separate heats with 2 strong riders in this one, and then 2 lads that are learning as they're going. So heat number 2, sponsored by Keith Cook Construction. We're going to see Max Broadhurst in red off the inside for Oxford. Gate 2 will be Ryan Ingram in white for Leicester. Gate 3, Darryl RITCHINGS in blue for the home side. And Cooper Rushen, he's going to be in yellow off the outside for Leicester. Last time Cooper was here, he had 4 heat wins, 1 retirement. He would have gone through, he was leading that race at the time, so he would have gone through the card. He seems to be going to most tracks and just dialing in. Yeah,
he seems to be getting grips with everywhere straight away. And it's, you know, you can't really say it's experience because he's such a young lad, but no, it's great to see someone sort of, yeah, progressing and making their mark.
And riding with a smile on his face as well, that's for sure. So Darryl RITCHINGS, it's just worth noting that this morning's meeting was the first one back for a little while for Darryl. He had a crash a few weeks ago while he was still at Poole. He's left Poole now. They've made that switch, and Darryl's, after a fantastic few performances for them, he stepped down from the Pirates and will concentrate on this level of racing again. So here we go, heat number 2, Max Broadhurst, Darryl RITCHINGS, Ryan Ingram, Cooper Rushen, tapes go up, and it's a good start from the Leicester pair by the look of it. Darryl RITCHINGS will look to cut back up the inside here of Ryan Ingram, but Ryan holds second place for the moment. Cooper out front, he's got his head down. Darryl looking to do what Jody did earlier on, a run around the outside, and well done getting into second place.
Yeah, Cooper just made a huge, a great gate there, and no, it's like a straight to the dirt. Maybe he's watched Jody, and no, it's working. Just chopping back to the inside a bit now, playing it safe. Now he's got that lead. And, no, he's stolen the march.
Yeah, he's got himself out front. Max unfortunately didn't make the best of gates, and he's just tailed off a little bit here. There's still a bit of a battle for second place. Cooper's out front. He's got this one with a lap to go in the bag. Darryl RITCHINGS in second place. I have to say that Ryan Ingram hasn't, you know, he's keeping Darryl on his toes, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. He's applying that pressure, and yeah, if Darryl makes a mistake, you know, Ryan's there ready to pounce. So,
but the 2 corners to go. Cooper Rushen's going to take the win. Well done to him. Darryl RITCHINGS does just pull away a tiny bit there to get that second place. But importantly, for the away side, Ryan Ingram, he packed into third. So that 4-2 advantage from the first heat swings back the other way. Cooper Rushen takes the victory from Darryl RITCHINGS, Ryan Ingram, and Max Broadhurst, who didn't make the best of gates and was just tailed off pretty early. But Cooper comes round, take the applause, that's what we like to see. And again, there's a few Leicester fans dotted around here. They would have absolutely given him some applause there. So he takes the win from Darryl RITCHINGS, Ryan Ingram third, Max Broadhurst at the back. So 4-2 to Leicester, that levels things up 6-6 on the afternoon, evening, where are we? And 50-50 on aggregate. Here we can see it from the start. Max doesn't get away, but the other 3 do, and it's pretty even going into the first turn.
Yeah, it got quite tight. I think, you know, Darryl just didn't have that edge over Ryan, and no, Ryan sort of controlled it from there, but it didn't take long for Darryl to work out that, yeah, the outside line's still working.
Yeah, there's something out there, but what it did do, what Ryan did do there, just by keeping Darryl behind him for a lap, was allowed Cooper to pull away.
Yeah, that's it. You know, Cooper riding where he wants to and where he knows he's fast. Yeah, allowed him to stretch a bit of a lead, and maybe that played a part in him taking that race.
Yeah, because he was some distance away when he took the victory. So, yeah, there's an R&R ride here. We've got an extended break, which tells me that either Cooper or Ryan Ingram will be coming out for the RR for Max Perry here. Probably Cooper. Jamie Etherington, he's going to be in white for the away side. You can see Arran Butcher there. So we'll just wait and see if we can pick up on who is going to be in white for Max Perry. Just try and scan the pits and see what we can see. But because we've got an extended, 2 minutes would normally be on by now. So I imagine it will be, yeah, there's Cooper there. So Ryan Ingram will be coming out, I think, to take that first R&R ride. And relatively sensible to stick him straight back out again. He's just got the experience of the track there. And
yeah, that's it. And that should give him that upper hand now to, make a better bit of the start and, try and just keep the boys behind him. Yeah,
he'll learn from that 4 laps that he's just had. And he'll join Jamie Etherington in this one. So a bit of a disjointed look to the Leicester side this afternoon, which is a shame. It's good to see these guys, but it's a shame when you don't get the full Leicester team as they've started the season with. But yeah, Ryan will be coming out in this one with Jamie Etherington, a couple of guests for them. Oh no, Ryan of course is their reserve, isn't he? Yeah, my bad, he's their reserve. He's got the number 3 on his back.
Maybe they've made a little change around, I don't know. I did think he was lined up at number 4 before.
Yeah, because we checked in with the guys earlier on. So what we do is we set our graphics up early on with what we're told is the running order. So we're just trying to see if we can make head nor tail of what's going on here. Because basically what we do is we set the graphics up, and then if we're not told, we obviously press play on the graphics, and that then runs. That's our system for the afternoon. So if something is, if we're not told, it would be then wrong for the rest of the afternoon. So it does look like Jamie Etherington's going to be at 3. And the R&R is going to be at 4, which has made a right old mess of my programme.
So, no, they've switched 3 and 4 because of averages, apparently. That's what I've just been told.
All right, time to get the red pen out. That's going to make Andy sweat. We'll make the best of it. So what we've got is Jamie Etherington at 3. And Ryan Ingram, he's going to be out as the R&R. For Sonny Springer at 4. So we'll just try and keep you on top of that. That was Laura that managed to get us a message up to the box there. So let's see how we do with this. Right, so we are going to see off the inside in white will be it's going to be Jamie Etherington off the inside in white. Next to him in blue is going to be Ashton VALE. Yellow off of gate 3 is going to be Ryan Ingram. And it will be Arran Butcher in red off of the outside. Liquid Screed, they sponsor heat number 3 here. So it is Arran Butcher red, Ashton VALE blue, Jamie Etherington in white. So he's going to be riding at 3 this afternoon and not 4. And the rider replacement for this one is going to be, for Sonny Springer, is Ryan Ingram. It's going to be a tricky afternoon, guys. But hey, we got 4 riders on track. That is the most important thing. Let's see how we go. We'll keep on top of it for you. So start marshal brings the boys in about 30 seconds until tapes up on this one. Always call the 3 and 4 the engine room at the side. Let's see what these 2 sets of riders can produce. Tapes up and away we go. It's a great start from Ashton VALE over the top of Jamie Etherington. Makes him change his line, and Arran Butcher's come all the way around the outside. Great start from the Chargers there. They get themselves up into 1st and 2nd with Jamie Etherington and Ryan Ingram hot on the heels, chasing them down, but Chargers looking in control, Luke.
Yeah, both Chargers riders there just made a great bit at the start. And you see Ashton getting a bit of drive there down the back straight. But no, the boys seem to be settling down now, and it looks good for the Chargers.
Yeah, Arran Butcher's just got to keep on his toes though, because Jamie Etherington isn't a million miles away, and if Arran does make a mistake, he's just going to cross the corner there a little bit, and that's allowed Jamie just to reel him in. But out front for sure, Aston Vale made a great gate. He's gone, he's checked out for the win. He's got a lap to go. I'm not sure Jamie's going to be able to get up to challenge Arran for second though.
No, we can just, I could imagine Arran can hear Jamie just set behind him, you know, sort of trying to work him out. And no, that'll be applying the pressure. But no, he's kept his head calm, and he's held on for that second.
Yeah, Jamie, yeah, he did. Jamie pushed him all the way to the checkered flag. Fair play to him. But it was a second place for Arran Butcher. It's a great win for Aston Vale. And it is a 5-1 to the home side. That is going to change things a little bit. 11-7 on the night. A confidence boosting 5-1 to the home side. But yeah, Arran had to work for that, didn't he?
No, definitely. I could imagine he could hear Jamie just working the track behind him and trying to work Arran out. But no, he held on, and it's great for the side.
Yeah, Ashton Vale with a win. Arran Butcher second. Jamie Etherington was third. Ryan Ingram at the back. So it's a 5-1 to the Chargers. That makes the score on the afternoon 11-7. And it gives the Chargers a 4-point gap on that aggregate point, which they're chasing down this afternoon. And you can see it from the start. Aston Vale made a great gate off 2.
Bike just drove all the way.
Yeah, and then Arran was as far enough ahead of Jamie to be able to get himself over the top coming out of turn 2, and essentially that was the race done and dusted there. But you have Jamie Etherington, he stayed on the pace, and he was only half a bike's length away on the checkered flag. Yeah,
he's applying that pressure for all 4 laps, and you know, sometimes that's your best bet rather than making a move that could pay off or it could set you back. You know, he just played it smart there and applied that pressure, but Arran held his head.
Certainly did. So we're moving on with heat number 4. Riders already coming around to tapes. Very hot looking. As the referee's box, we can't. I think that's Chris down on the left there. We just see Chris Gay's head on the left there. There we go. There's our ref. He's keeping out the sun as best he can. So Freddy Hodder and Darryl RITCHINGS, they're already at tapes. They're ready to go here for heat number 4. So a strong looking heat, this one. Normally you can develop into 2 races because you've got the heat leaders and the 7s or 6s. So here we go. Cooper rushing off the inside, winner first time out, yellow for the away side. Darryl RITCHINGS, second place in that opening heat for him, blue off of gate number 2. First ride for Max James, he'll be in white off of gate 3. And first ride for our guest this afternoon, Freddy Hodder, he'll be in red off of gate number 4. Nuffield Health are our sponsors. And this is a strong heat. This could be a 15.
No, definitely so. It's strong right the way through because, as we touched on earlier, you know, those number 7s aren't quite your traditional number 7. And no, giving them that inside gate 2, this could really mix it up. Yeah, this could be a really strong heat, this one. And it could be as the season progresses, this could be a 13 or a 15 anywhere they go. So, yep, strong heat. Cooper won that heat number 2 from Darryl RITCHINGS. And the first time we're seeing Freddie and Max, the 2 riders that have already got championship experience. So here we go, heat number 4, 11-7 to the Chargers as we stand. Tapes go up, away we go, and it's a real even break going into that first turn, keeping on Freddy Hodder. Will he get a run around the outside? No, Cooper gets his wheels in line. Darryl RITCHINGS looking to move up the inside, really close there with Max James. Gives Max a bit of a shove. Will Darryl be able to get that line coming up the inside? No, he can't. So at the minute it's a 4-2 to the away side. Can Darryl RITCHINGS do anything about that 3rd spot there? Yeah, he's definitely looking a lot.
Oh, big move up the inside of Max James. I think we're going to see the red flags come out there. Was there any contact? Didn't appear to me like there was any.
From up here, but you know, hopefully we can get some better camera angles on that and find out the real answer.
Yeah, Max hasn't thrown his arms in the air. That tells me that he might have just been a bit unsettled by the move from Darryl RITCHINGS there, because there was definitely a big enough hole for Darryl to look up the inside. Max isn't looking too bothered about it, which makes me think, here we go, we can see it again. Keep an eye on Darryl there in blue. He's made that cut back off of 2 up the inside. You can see from there whether the dirt deflector might have kissed that front wheel or not.
It's hard to tell. But no, we'll see. Someone has to go. That's the problem.
We'll keep an eye on the lights. Max doesn't look too bothered. That always tells a story. If the arms go up in the air, I always think that says enough.
He's just seemed to shrug there too, so maybe he knows.
Just a bit unsettled maybe. With Darryl charging up the inside. It was a big move from Darryl though. He took advantage of the space, didn't he?
Yeah, that's it. You know, Max just had a little bit of lift as he was coming out that second bend, and I think that killed his speed, which opened that move up for Darryl.
Yeah, it'll give Freddie another opportunity because Cooper had got his wheels in line and got a nice long back straight to pull away. Yeah, see if we can see it again. It's
yeah, a bit of lift from Max there.
It's a tough angle because we switched there. Yeah, I don't think so. From here we can't see conclusively from that angle, but so there's one of the new clip-on clutch coolers.
I have seen them. They're Speedway builds. Jake Rose, shout out.
Yeah,
he's a good bloke and he's doing great things for the sport as well with all these niche little creations.
Yeah,
but they make our life a lot easier.
That obviously captures the clutch and gets it maximum cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. You know, all the air coming out that fan's going straight in.
The gap there, it's only a few mil, but it's enough of a gap to lose a bit of the air.
Yeah, and no, I think they make a huge difference. I haven't got myself one yet, but if he's listening, I would like one.
There we go. Message will get there, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah, pre-superheat this morning, apparently there was 5 clutch coolers around Darryl Richings' bike.
No wonder.
From all angles, and one on him as well.
Especially being midday, would have been a lot hotter too. And
yeah, that's right.
Can't see a light.
No, Darryl's still on track, I can see, and Max has gone in, so that tells us all we need to know, I think. So unfortunately for Max James, he finds himself excluded in that one. He started the season with the Edinburgh side in the Championship and just stepped back away from that, didn't he, Max? He just felt he needed to have a bit of a break from that Championship level and concentrate at this level of racing a bit more. Yeah,
you know, this is the groundwork. These are the fundamentals. And, no, I think it's a very wise move. You know, it's turning down bike time, but, you know, to give yourself that confidence of winning races and being, you know, amongst it and being one of them front runners, it's huge for the confidence. Yeah, and if you're feeling that pressure and that pressure is on your shoulders, it's a very mature decision to make, to step away, because, you know, you could be seen to be, you know, stepping back unnecessarily, or, you know, you've got to dig in and make something of it. So fair play to him for doing it. No, very wise move. Yeah, good for him for doing that. So he sadly sits this one out as the cause of the stoppage in the first running off heat number 4. Darryl Richings made that move, deemed to be no contact. So we will only have 3 riders in the rerun of heat number 4, sponsored by Nuffield Health, and it'll be Cooper Rushen off the inside in yellow, the sole runner in this one for Leicester, so 3-3 the most they can get. Darryl Richings in blue, he'll be off of gate number 2. Nobody off of gate number 3, which will give Freddy Hodder in red off of gate number 4 a bit more of an angle that he can approach turn 1. So we're 11-7, 55-51 on aggregate, and 3-3 the best thing Leicester can hope for now. Yeah, that's it's a shame, you know, not having 4 riders in a race, but it has to happen, and it had to be someone. Nature of it. And from an Oxford perspective, you know, I think they'll take this, but, you know, they're going to have to make the trap. If Darryl can make the gate and just get over the top of Cooper, that could be massive for Freddie coming around the outside. Yeah, that's it. Try and make life easier for his partner. Yeah, try and clamp him. So that'll be the thought process here. Cooper Rushen, Darryl Richings, Freddy Hodder. Green light comes on, takes up, and Cooper's made the gate. Keep an eye again on Freddie. There's a mirror run of the first staging of it, really, and the back straight is exactly the same as it was before. Cooper Rushen gets himself out front, rides a really nice first and second turn, gets his wheels in line, head down, out front. Freddy Hodder's putting in the chase, but he's going to have a lot of work to do to catch him, Luke. Yeah, now Cooper's on that race line, on that dirt line. It's Freddie's going to have some good going to catch him. But no, he's definitely keeping him honest, keeping him on his toes, and just keeping that pressure applied. Yeah, he's just got to try and push him as much as he can, just in case there is a mistake.
I think the last time when Cooper was here, the race that he didn't win was because his race jacket caught on the cutout. He pulled that out. So he won't be hoping for that with a lap to go. It's pretty spread out now. Cooper out front, Freddy in second, Darryl RITCHINGS in third. Probably feeling the effects of all 7 rides this morning, Darryl. But fair play to Cooper Rushen, got his wheels in line on exit of turn 2 for the first time. He takes the win from Freddy HODDER. And a third for Darryl RITCHINGS, so it was the best that they could hope for, and it was what they got. It keeps a 4-point gap for the home side, but it's a second win of the afternoon for Cooper Rushen. Decent first ride for Freddy HODDER, and more points on the board for Darryl RITCHINGS. But he is impressive. You've got to take your hat off to Cooper.
Absolutely, he's young and hungry, and he knows how to ride a bike. That's for sure.
Yeah, he certainly does, and he was the winner there of heat number 4. Ignore that 3-0. The Oxford would have preferred a 3-0 in that one, but it certainly wasn't. It was a 3-3 with Cooper Rushen taking the win from Freddy HODDER, then Darryl RITCHINGS and Max James, a non-runner in the restaging of heat number 4. So we are 14-10 after the 4 heats here. We can see it from the start, and it was a mirror start from the first staging, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Both chargers made a great gate, but Cooper just had that edge, and he had that inside run too, so he could control the race from there, and sort of had it finished by the time they're coming out the second bend.
Does his style make a difference to the way that he gets his wheels in line coming off of 2?
Yeah, he's very sat in the bike, and we can see there he's got the bike stood up too. Especially when he's on that curb, the bike's almost leaning over the high side, and more tyre on the ground, more drive.
Yeah, it's looking good. Right, let's head over to the pits. I think Laura's going to get us an interview.
Thank you so much. I'm here with Jen Crossland. What a fantastic meeting it was earlier on today. How do you feel?
Disappointed, obviously, losing 2 riders, but yeah, what an amazing race it was this morning, absolutely. And like I say, I wish my best to Sonny and Max, bless him, who sadly can't be with us tonight.
Yeah, and it was almost a surprise for Sonny announcing his retirement from the sport. It must be a bit of a blow to the team.
It's a huge blow. It's a huge blow to both, because he rides for trophy team as well for us, but it's a massive blow. But I'm hoping he's going to take some time out, reconsider, but he's adamant that no, he wanted to finish this weekend, so massive blow.
The meeting's got off to a fairly decent start for you here this evening. What are you saying to the boys to get them going?
We're just trying to, we're going to forget this morning, we've got new faces in pits, just try and keep together. We're talking to each other, obviously trying to make rider replacement work for us, but we know Oxford are so strong, we absolutely do, so we're just trying to keep his head held high and just keep together.
And you've got Cooper Rushen down at reserve, so that's got to be handy for you.
Extremely, and I'm going to make most of it, because this will be his last one, because he'll go to number 1, I think. By the time this meeting's finished, averages are out, so he's going to go straight to number 1. But yeah, absolutely amazing asset. I think he's got an amazing future ahead of him, and a lovely lad as well.
Thank you so much, Jen. I'll let you get back to the team.
Thank you very much.
And I'll hand you back up to the box for Luke and Lee.
On track to Jamie and Wayne, just taking the opportunity to do a bit of work to the track, just try and even out a bit of that grip out wide. Get a bit more water into the surface. Next heat. Yeah, we've got Ben Morley out in the next one with Harry Fletcher. So Cooper's just getting ready for his next ride there. I don't think we're going to see him in the next one. But the track riding quite nice. Looks pretty smooth.
Yeah, it looks a smooth, consistent track, and obviously a little bit slicker for these boys, but it's looking fairly consistent to the last couple of meetings we've had.
And you obviously, that it's, from a charger's perspective, you know that it's going to be set up differently, so there's not going to be as much grip. So do you then set your bike up to have a different gearing on, different jetting on when it's National League, like last season? Yeah,
last season, I'd generally drop a tooth,
yeah.
And maybe make it a little bit shorter from time to time, and some timing. But I never really change the jetting. Almost anywhere I go, I'll try and use the same setup. And yeah, I've got a setup here, and I've got a setup for mid-meeting when it slickens off, and usually with the chargers I'd start with that slicker setup.
So I was going to say, I tend to see the jetting getting changed as the meeting ticks by. Once you get to like 5, 6, 7, and that's when we get the shot of the pits, and that is when I can see that they're changing the jetting on the bike. So is that kind of a norm for most riders, really? Yeah, it's each engine works different. I've found where what I'd usually do with the jetting, it works different on certain engines, but
No, sometimes a bit more fuel when it's slicker, and or sometimes when it's heavier, it just dulls that bike off, and it's not as aggressive or responsive.
Okay.
So it makes a good bit out the start, and usually getting a bit more grip off the bends too.
Yeah, I tend to see those changes coming on as the meeting ticks by. So the riders just taking the opportunity just to do a bit of work.
Bit of jet there.
Just right, and that's right on cue. Yeah. I didn't see whose bike that was. Oh, it was Freddy's. Yeah, Freddy HODDER. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh, giving away his secrets.
There you go. That's what we do. You get that camera in where most cameras don't go.
Unless he's got 12 bikes, you don't really know what he's doing. Too many jets missing.
So decent start for Freddy. Couple of points in that opening ride, and the heat. The heat makes a huge difference to the bike. It can make a huge difference to the bike performance, can't it?
Yeah, when it's a bit warmer and a bit more humid, you may change the jetting. But no, it all depends. It's I don't know. There's no rule book. There's no recipe book to how these bikes work.
And when you first started riding, did you start on the one? Oh, here we go. We'll just have a quick look at the gate stats. So I think we've got a winner off of 1. We've had a winner off of 2 and a couple of winners off of 4. So that's just got 3 heats on that one. So there was one off the inside as well. But it's hard to make a picture of it so early on, really.
Yeah, that's it. And it'll all sort of even out as the meeting goes on too.
Yeah, and again we've seen that time and again. So we can see the barrels right there, just getting a bit of water down. So we just had those. Yeah, we just haven't added heat 4 on. So I think Laura's still working the pit. So let's head back over to Laura.
Thank you so much. I'm joined by Senna SUMMERS. Your second meeting up in the team now. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it was a good day at Leicester. I usually struggle at Leicester, so to come away with 4+2 from at number 2 for the first time was pretty good. And that was a fall as well, so it was pretty good.
And this season, it's fair to say you've definitely got off to a flyer. What work did you put in over the winter to make the change?
I did a SGP Academy in Australia, and I think that was probably where things turned around for me a little bit, and I understood a little bit more of what I had to do, and that was probably the turning point where I knew I needed to do something.
Highlight of the season so far?
Probably my paid max.
Definitely. Well done, Senna. Best of luck for the rest of the evening. We'll let you get back to your pit bay. And we will just carry on having a wander through the pits. Obviously, the Chargers trying to stay focused here. They are ever so slightly ahead on the evening and looking to defend that victory this afternoon. We've got Freddy HODDER again, another one who's very hot over there. It is probably, last time I looked at the temperature, it was about 27 degrees, which is very unusual, isn't it, for the UK? So the guys doing everything they can down here to keep themselves and their machinery nice and cool. We're going to hand you straight back up to the commentary team because it looks like we are ready for some on-track action.
Okay, so right on cue, 2 minutes has come on for heat number 5. Thank you, Laura. It's good to have you in the pits this afternoon. Nice to hear from Senna there. He's got to be really pleased with his form so far this season.
Yeah, that's it. I think I can't count how many times I've said it now, but that off-season he had plenty of bike time over in Australia, and it definitely just made a huge difference for him.
Yeah, and we can see that on track, which is really good. And Ashton VALE winner first time out. So again, we've got Arran and Ashton coming out in this one. They're going to be up against Ben Morley and Harry Fletcher. A minute and a half until tapes up on heat number 5, which is sponsored by Teng Tools, and it's going to see Arran Butcher off the inside in red for Oxford. Gate 2 in yellow will be Harry Fletcher for Leicester. Gate 3 blue will be Ashton VALE, winner first time out, and Ben Morley, 2 points for him in his opening ride. He'll be in white off of gate number 4. So Teng Tools, great sponsors of Speedway. They sponsor our heat number 5 here. That's us up there in our incredibly warm comms box this afternoon.
They look good.
All the way over the other side there. So there we can see a nice shot of the boys just over the top of turn 1. So Leicester will be hoping to hit back here, 14.10. Ben Morley's the man in this one. You know, young Harry Fletcher, a million miles off the pace in that first one. But they're hoping that Ben Morley can do the business for them here in heat number 5. Start Marshall's happy, green light comes on, up goes the tapes. It's a great start off the inside gates, but keep an eye on Ben Morley. Loads of drive going up into that first turn, and he's going to look to put it all the way around the outside of Arran Butcher. But Arran just keeps that throttle open. Keep an eye on Ben Morley. He's going to look to cut back up the inside. Can he make that work on a drive up into turn 1? He certainly can. But now watch Arran. Will he repay that favour? Will he be able to get his wheels in line? No, he can't. Fair play to Ben Morley. Rode really nicely there. Knew what he was doing and got himself up into first place.
Yeah, great first couple of laps from Ben there. No, he's just made the outside work, then he had to do that cutback, and no, just riding really smart. But you know, the two Chargers boys keeping him honest, and I say that, and he stretches a bit of a lead now.
Yeah, he did. There's always the case.
Always the case.
Commentator's curse. Arran doesn't look overly comfortable. I mean, from 1 into 2, he just seems to be going across the corner, which again is just losing him forward traction. It's just allowing Ben to pull away. But this has been pretty straightforward for Ben Morley, to be honest. He did the work on that opening lap. He's got himself out front to take that checkered flag, and I think that's probably the best they could have hoped for in that one, Leicester. But a great race win for him. He takes that checkered flag. Young Harry Fletcher at the back there. So it was a 3-3, but yeah, he did the work early, Ben, and just pulled away, didn't he?
Yeah, he's I don't want to say made light work of that, but definitely worked out the track, worked out Arran, and yeah, just hit the front and then kept going.
Yeah, he certainly did, and again, Arran just seemed to be a little bit uncomfortable on a couple of occasions there, and was almost going across the corner rather than letting the corner carry him around. But he held on for the second place. Ben Morley with the win. Arran was second. Ashton Vale in there in third, and young Harry Fletcher at the back. So it was a 3-3, and that makes it 17. So still that 4-point gap, 17-13. Arran did manage to hold on to that second place.
Yeah, it was a good start from the Chargers pair there. I think Ashton sort of just was on the back wheel maybe a little too long and come across gate 2, but no, that left an open run for Ben, and he's worked out Arran pretty quick.
Yeah, you can see a nice cut back there, looks up the inside, and Arran's almost mid-track there, isn't he? So he's almost invited Ben up the inside a little bit.
Yeah, left himself quite vulnerable.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, Ben's worked out the track really quick, and he's doing really well.
Yeah, and he's going to prove a solid guest, I would imagine, for Leicester this afternoon. But it is another win off of gate 4, but not a win from the start line. He had to work hard for that one. So we're going to see Jody and Senna back out in this one in red and blue, and they're going to be up against Max James, who there he is on screen, and actually complete his first ride with that exclusion for coming down. And it is Ryan Ingram. He's going to be out for his third ride of the afternoon already. He's been out in every other heat so far. So a minute until tapes up on heat number 6, which is sponsored by the Real Mini Company. Max James off the inside in white for Leicester. Jody Scott, winner first time out. He's in red off of gate number 2 for Oxford. Gate 3, Ryan Ingram, point for him so far from his 2 rides. He's going to be in yellow off of gate 3. And Senna SUMMERS, third place for him in his opening ride. He's going to be in blue off of gate number 4. So again, they almost need Max James to really step up again in this one, Leicester, don't they?
Yeah, that's it. And that inside gate's going to be a huge advantage. But, you know, all 4 of these boys out there now have been making starts this afternoon. And it could be a congested first bend.
Yeah, let's see how we go. So we've had 3 winners off of 4. We've had a winner off of 1 and a winner off of gate 2. So nothing off of gate 3. Ryan Ingram's going to have to excel if he can get us a win off of gate 3 here over Jody Scott and Max James, but you never know. Referee, he's happy, start marshal walks away, green light comes on, tapes go up, and Jody Scott pulls straight up into that first turn. And keep an eye on Senna SUMMERS, can he go round the outside of Max James? That's a great line into second place for Senna SUMMERS, all the way around the outside of Max James, and Max has now got work to do to try and stop this from being a 5-1 to the Chargers. But Jody Scott from the tapes, Senna SUMMERS around 1 and 2, Chargers out front, Luke.
Yeah, Senna just made a statement lap there. You know, that first lap just sat on the dirt the whole way round, following Jody, and no, he's taking control there. But Jody's, I feel like a broken record. He's stolen a march. He's just Jody Scott.
Yeah, he's well and truly checked out. But I tell you what, the development of Senna SUMMERS is fantastic to see. Having followed the Chargers for a couple of years now, consistently, his development and his improvement on this track is really clear to see. And that was a fantastic move to get over the top of what is a heat leader for the away side here. But take nothing away from Jody Scott. He's looking absolutely fantastic out front, dominating at this level now around this track. And Senna SUMMERS holds on to that second place over Max James. That's a massive 5-1 to the home side. And Senna had to do it the hard way, but what a great first and second turn.
Absolutely, just stretching that lead a little bit more as well. But no, those boys rode a great race from start to finish, and yeah, sort of had the deal done fairly early on.
Yeah, they really did. Jody was gone. He disappeared, and Senna got himself around the outside of Max James.
No slouch on Max, though. He was there the whole race, applying that pressure, and no, Senna just kept cool, calm and collected, and held on.
Certainly did. There we can see Jody with the win, Senna in second, 5-1 to the Chargers over Max James and Ryan Ingram. That has extended that lead now to 22-14, and a big lead on the afternoon, but obviously as well on aggregate as well for that extra points. Here we can see it from the start. It was a great start from Jody, wasn't it? Keep an eye on Jody on gate 2 there. Oh, he's already won the heat there, look. Great start. And then Senna.
Yeah, the bike just reacted awesome for Jody there, and Senna had a little bit of work to do in them first and second bends, but by the time he was out of there down the back straight, it was fairly straightforward.
And you've got to be brave when you're going down that back straight and you're moving over the top of a rider, which is what Senna was doing. You've got to be brave to almost, you're not shutting the door, but you're dominating, aren't you? You're dominating that space. Yeah,
that's it. You know, these things have no brakes, so most riders have at least half a brain, and yeah, they'll shut off, and looks like that's what happened.
Half a brain. I like it. I like it. So we're going to see Jamie Etherington. He's back out here. He's going to be in white for the away side, and Cooper Rushen, he's coming out as that rider, replacement ride for Sonny Springer. He will be in yellow and black. So let's talk you through this one as best I can. Off the inside in red will be Freddy Hodder. Next to him in white will be Jamie Etherington for Leicester. Gate 3 is Max Broadhurst for the home side, and it will be Cooper Rushen in yellow off of the outside. We'll have to excuse our graphics because we weren't informed correctly of the lineup this afternoon. It's going to be a bit hit and miss as the afternoon goes on, but it is going to be Freddy Hodder off the inside, Jamie Etherington, he's in white, Max Broadhurst, he's going to be in blue, and it's Cooper Rushen. Nobody can fail to see Cooper in that race suit and those tassels. He's going to be in yellow off of the outside. There we go, spot on, graphic correct. Freddie, Jamie, Max, Cooper in that order from the inside in a heat which is sponsored by Enley and Sons Leadwork Specialists. So 30 seconds until tape's up here, and again could well be a good battle. Jamie Hodder, Freddy Hodder and Cooper Rushen lead for the second time this afternoon already, and the tapes go up, and it's those two riders that have made the gate. Now Freddy Hodder's on the inside, Cooper Rushen's on the outside, and like a breeze round the outside to take the lead. He's out front. Great line from Cooper Rushen. He's out front from Freddy Hodder. Third place at the minute goes for Jamie Etherington, with Max Broadhurst just tailed off a little bit at the back. And Cooper, superlatives. He's a great first time.
Yeah, that's it. You know, Freddie got to the first corner first, but Cooper put the back wheel straight in that bit of grip and powered his way right around the outside.
Yeah, and he's really stamped his authority on this heat. This one's pretty spread out now. As long as we get no mechanical, no fall off, this one's cut and dry with a lap to go. It's going to be a 4-2, so the away side are going to reach back into it if they can all stay upright here. Cooper Rushen's out front. Freddy Hodder, he's got his back wheel on that grip line trying to chase Cooper down, but Cooper's got the fresh air. He's riding where he wants to ride. He's dictating the race. He's taking the win, and it's going to be a 4-2. Really spread out that one. But it is a 4-2 to the away side. And they do just eat into that deficit just a little bit. There's another solid second place from Freddie. It is the third win of the afternoon for Cooper. And Jamie Etherington has got points in both his rides. And again, Cooper comes round to take the applause of the crowd. I'm sure we'll be getting applause from both sets of fans. There are a few few Leicester supporters underneath us, but there we can see Cooper with the win. Freddy HODDER was in second. Jamie Etherington was in third, and Max Broadhurst was at the back. So it was a 4-2 in that one, not a 5-1, which makes the score 24-18 after heat number 7. We'll just adjust that in a moment. But again, Cooper's looking awesome, eh?
As always. No, he's I had the first few times I've seen him, he was riding the curb, and he rides the curb really well, but this afternoon he's been moving out of the dirt a bit more, and that's working for him too. He seems to be able to ride the bike anywhere. Yeah,
it's nice to see. It's good to see a young lad coming through, and he's going to be the one for Leicester this afternoon. We can see that. They're going to need a couple of the others to step up if they're going to eat into this, what is an 8-point deficit as we go into what is the protected heat number 8. But Peter Schroeck and Oxford, they'll be happy. They'll be happy.
Yeah, that's it. It's obviously the aggregate lead is going to be the same as the lead on the afternoon, but no, there's that bonus point and the 2 points this afternoon to play for. Yeah, and if Oxford can stamp this win on the league, that'll be a really big marker laid down today to the rest of the league. So we're just going to have a bit of a grade. Yeah, the Bowser's going to come out, do a bit of work on the track. It's still insanely hot here this afternoon. I'd love to say we had air conditioning in our comms box, but we don't. So we're making do. There we go, 24-18, 68-62 on aggregate. That's the scoreline as we move into the halfway stage in this meeting. And it's just important to try and keep as much water and moisture in the track, isn't it, while they're out there. But I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's we'll grab Laura. Sorry, Luke. We'll grab Laura. She's over in the pits. We'll get another interview.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm just going to see if Ashton will join us for a quick second. He is just having chilling time, so thank you very much. Busy day. How have you been?
I spent most of the time sweating, to be honest. It's quite hard when you're riding these bikes in the heat. You wear so much stuff. It's like, it really does get to you. Plenty of water.
And when the heat is as extreme as it is now for the UK, does that change anything you would do with regards to the bike setup?
We play a lot with the carburetors on the bikes, the jetting and a few other little bits, which I don't want to hand out if anyone's listening, but yeah, we do play with a lot of stuff.
Awesome. And in terms of a double header, obviously away and then home, how do you set yourself up for that? Because it's a bit more than a regular meeting, isn't it?
Yeah, no, we have to bring a lot of spare oil and obviously loads more methanol and a few other bits, and obviously keep some more tyres with us. But I think mostly the same as other meetings, but we just prep for 2 instead. We use double the stuff really, so we just go off what we use normally. I don't really know, to be honest.
You just let the mechanics do it?
We just throw it on the van. I let the mechanic do it. I don't know.
Thank you so much, Ashton. I'll let you get back to cooling down over there. Brilliant interview there from Ashton, and let's just have a quick wander through the pits. I do think it's getting warmer as the evening's going on. I can feel the heat radiating off of these guys as we are talking to them. Obviously Cooper Ashton, we think, is going to be in for a very busy evening. You can see him over there having a little snack of some Haribo's. Got to keep the sugar levels high. I would imagine another 7 rides will be quite demanding on him for sure. We'll just have a little wander through, see how the rest of the Leicester team are preparing. As we come down here, you can see everyone takes the approach ever so slightly differently. You have some pit bays where you have all of the mechanics in working on the bike at the same time, and then other guys that have a slightly more laid-back approach, which there is absolutely nothing wrong with whatsoever. Everybody has their own sort of pre-race routine. We've got Ben Morley over there with a towel on his head. But, needs must and everything like that. We will try and grab Cooper a little bit later on for a chat, maybe in the interval, but we will just let him stay focused over there for now. And then I will hand you back up to Luke and Lee. I wonder if you guys got aircon up there?
She is in the pits, but she is in the shade, Laura. She is in the pits. No, there is no aircon up here. We are on fire.
Scorching. I never thought I'd say that over here, I must say. But,
we were talking before we came on air. That's a different heat. The UK is a different heat.
there's a couple of people listening from back in Oz. Please don't judge. I'm not soft, I promise. It's a lot more humid here.
It's not a nice heat, I have to say. If you're sat doing nothing, it's probably not too bad. But hey, we're enjoying ourselves. That's what we need. We need one of those. Darryl has got there. We're almost sending you to the van to get a couple of clutch coolers, Luke.
Sounds good.
Might be a bit noisy though, eh? might be a bit noisy.
Much.
Yeah, they wouldn't hear much. So we're moving into heat number 8. So no tax subs available in heat number 8. So you run with the number 2s in the reserve. So it should be Senna SUMMERS and Darryl Richings. We can see Darryl there, so we know that's going to be the home pairing. It looks like Harry Fletcher and Cooper Rushen are the ones down to ride. So we're going to see Cooper again, and Darryl got the better of Cooper a few times earlier on. There we can see some stats. So yeah, there's the 7 heats, and yeah, we've had quite a few winners off of 4.
Yeah, it's lasted long this time. You know, I think because it's a bit more dry today, a bit more hot. They're having to pump a lot more water into the track, and maybe that's playing a part in keeping Gate 4 so. Yeah, just so good, let's say.
Working so well, yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, it is working really well. Nothing off the 3 and hardly any points coming off the 3, which I think by the nature of, if it was a Spars or a Cheaters meet, you might see a few more points added. Because the boys, if they're missing the start here, because of the level that they're at, a lot of them aren't making up the ground to get back into the scoring position. But to only have 5 points off of Gate 3 is a bit of a surprise. Yeah,
and I'd say, Gate 4 still being good is playing a part in that too. They're not getting that fresh air into the corner off of Gate 3, and that's playing a part.
See a bit of wear and tear on Darryl's race suit there. It tells a story, painful story.
A couple of skids, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of skids. All par for the course. I think we're all fully aware that that's part of the game. And Darryl, like I say, did pick up an injury racing for Paul. He did very well there in the short time that he had there, and I don't think he'll be on the. I don't think he'll be on the bench long at championship level after the form that he had for Paul.
I'd say not, but who knows? It's too hard to say. There's a couple of riders who some people are probably a bit shocked they've not got an opportunity. But let's hope Darryl's not one of them. I'd love to ride alongside him or ride against him.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I've known him a long time. I did a charity cycle ride for him once upon a time. He crashed racing for Swindon and ended up in a coma for a little while.
Oh, wow.
It was a real bad one, yeah. And I did a cycle from London to Swindon to raise a few quid for him, which was good. So anyway, back to this afternoon, and we have got that's Harry Fletcher there. So it'll be Harry Fletcher and Cooper Rushen up against Darryl and Senna. So again, a good-looking heat. Harry struggled to pick up any scores. This is interesting. Cooper's got a bit of a problem there.
Yeah, it looks like the carby might be flooding, but that does look a clear liquid. It's hard to tell from here, but it looks like they're going to change bikes.
He's got 45 seconds to get round to tapes, and he's got to get to tapes. So he can't just be on the track within that time. He has to get right back round to the start line. So there's plenty of panic going on over Cooper's shoulder there. Here comes I'm not sure if that's his bike, is it?
No.
That's Ben Morley's. So he's got 15 seconds, so he's going to get to tapes, but he's not going to be on his own machinery. So let's see how that pans out. So Abingdon Beds, they sponsor heat number 8, and it's going to be Darryl Richings off the inside in blue. It's going to be Cooper Rushen on a Ben Morley bike off of gate number 2. 3, 2, yeah, and away we go. And then Senna SUMMERS in red off of gate 3, and Harry Fletcher in 4. Here we go. Bit of a panic to the start. Oh, he made the gate, then he lifted a little bit. Keep an eye on Senna around the outside of Cooper. Will he get some grip coming down the back straight? Nah, Cooper just shuts that door. But what it's done is it's unsettled Cooper, and it's allowed Darryl Richings to make a great gate there and get himself out front. But we might just well see a heat on here, Luke.
Yeah, it's Cooper's applying that pressure. As I'd mentioned before, he's got that bike really stood up on that low line, and it's a short way round, but with the bike, you know, in that upright position, it's creating plenty of grip for him.
Yeah, Darryl's riding an excellent line. He's got his back wheel on that dirt line and he's pulling forward. I don't think Cooper's going to catch him in this one. And like I say, Darryl got the better of Cooper a couple of times this morning, so this will add to that this afternoon, and this could be a good race win for him.
Yeah, that's it. And you know, he's not won one yet this afternoon, and no, just to see, he's got that fresh air. He's putting that bike where he wants to, and yeah, he's stretching a bit of a lead now.
Yeah, fantastic race win for Darryl Richings there in heat number 8. Second place is Cooper Rushen. Third, importantly, is Senna SUMMERS. Another point on the board for him. And what it does do is that 4-2 that Leicester got in that last heat number 7 before the grading, that swings right back around.
Swings and roundabouts, eh?
Swings and roundabouts, mate. And we're back to an 8-point advantage for the home side. But excellent from Darryl Richings. Good to see him take checkered flag this afternoon. Good to see Senna pick up another point. And unfortunately for young Harry Fletcher, that's a third ride for him, a third last place. He's found the going a bit tough. But great win for Darryl Richings, and yeah, you can see some smiles there. Fair play to Ben Morley. Let's just run through it quickly for you. Darryl Richings with the win, Cooper Rushen second, Senna third, SUMMERS third, Harry Fletcher at the back. So it was a 4-2 to the home side, 28-20. And yeah, that 8-point gap on aggregate as well. But it's really unsettling when you jump on somebody else's bike, eh?
Yeah, that's it. You know, and we'll see it here again. Cooper's dropped that clutch, and it looks as if it's not set up the same as his own, and yeah, probably more lift than he'd anticipated for. And
could Senna have done anything different there, or is Cooper in control of that situation down the back straight?
I think yeah, no, Cooper he put Senna where he needed to be, put him in that grip, but no, Cooper still had that run on the inside, and I don't think there was a lot Senna could do, really. It's yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say when you're not on the bike too.
Yeah, so we're going to run to program in this one as well, by the look of it. Ryan Ingram has had 3 rides, but he is going to take a 4th one here, which again I think is good from Jen Crossland, the Leicester team manager, to give him another ride, because Cooper's going to get flogged. He's going to have 7 rides, regardless. So I think it's a damage limitation in this one, probably from Jen and the Lion Cubs. But yeah, let's see what heat number 9 brings us, which is sponsored by SD Timo Car Sales. Ashton Vale off the inside, 4+1 for him. Nice interview with Laura earlier on. He's going to be in blue off of gate number 1. Max James, he needs something from this one. 1 point from his 2 rides. He's in white off of gate number 2. Arran Butcher, 4+1. Red helmet colour, gate number 3 for the home side. And Ryan Ingram, 4th ride for Ryan. 4th programme ride. He's 1 point, yellow helmet colour from the outside. So again, he picked up a point in that opening heat 4-2 with Cooper Rushen, and he's had 2 last places since Ryan. But I didn't think Aaron looked overly comfortable in that last one.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. No, he didn't seem as smooth as he was in his first ride.
Yeah, most definitely.
No, hopefully he's sorted out whatever that was. Maybe it was a track, maybe it was a setup. But no, hopefully we can see the Arran Butcher we know.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we want to see. So 20 seconds, start marshal calls the guys into line. Green light will come on, and then we do have a timer on the starts here, so the referee will instigate the timer, and then they'll be released automatically from the machine. There we go, away we go, and Aaron's made a great one off a 3. He's got over the top of Max James, and will he join Ashton Vale? Keep an eye on Max James up the inside here, and he puts it straight back up the inside of Arran Butcher and pushes him wide. Now, can Aaron carry the speed of back round the outside? Ashton's almost in the way a little bit of him there, which allows Max James to stamp 2nd place back for him. And he's now looking up the inside of Ashton Vale. Ashton holds on going into turns 3 and 4. We've got a race on here, Luke.
Yeah, it seemed that, you know, Ashton was holding Max up a little bit, and his Max up the inside just off of M4. He's got them wheels in line, and no, he's got plenty of drive. But no, Ashton's still on hot on his tail, keeping him honest, and it's turned into a bit of a race later on.
Yeah, it certainly has. Fair play to Max James. He had to work up from 3rd into 1st, which he's done brilliantly around Arran Butcher and then around Ashton Vale, and he's actually pulling away a little bit now. This is more the Max James that we kind of thought we'd see this afternoon, winning races, a bit of overtaking. He's done really well to go from 3rd to 1st and take the checkered flag for Leicester. And also at the back there, Aaron, he held on for 3rd place, but Ryan Ingram pushed him all the way to the checkered flag there.
guy and definitely come on later on there in the race.
He certainly did, didn't he?
Yeah, just persisting, I'd say. I wasn't paying too much attention. I was watching the battle out the front.
Yeah.
But
No, he did. He pushed Arran Butcher all the way to the checkered flag there. But there we go. Max James with the win. Fair play to him. He worked his way up from the back into that winning position. Ashton VALE second, Arran Butcher third. Under lots of pressure from Ryan Ingram. Good on him for pushing all the way to the checkered flag. But it was a 3-3. It keeps that 8-point gap on the night and on aggregate. 31-23 to the home side. But yeah, Max did that one the hard way.
yeah, definitely. He worked for it and it paid off for sure.
Yeah, the Chargers made the gate here. We can see the boys in red and blue off of 1 and 3. They both make the gate over the top of Max. And there, you think, here we go, another 5-1. But Max up the inside of Arran here and just pushes him out.
Yeah, it looks, Max got up the inside and then Ashton seemed to maybe slow him up a little bit.
Yeah,
but then
possibly.
Once he's pushed out, he's ended up slowing Arran and gave Max that run again.
Yeah, that could have worked out slightly differently if Ashton was maybe just a couple of bike lengths ahead of where he was at. But fair play to Max James, he did the work. So here we go again. We're just going to have a slight change to what we've got on our programmes here. It's Jamie Etherington in the white helmet colour, and it's going to be Cooper Rushen coming out for the rider replacement ride in the yellow helmet colour. So this will be good to see. We haven't seen this battle this afternoon yet. Jody SCOTT against Cooper Rushen. Chuck Jamie Etherington into the mix, and an on form, looking quicker all the time, Senna SUMMERS, and we've got ourselves a cracking Heat 10.
Young Trapper off gate 1.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. We can make that gate.
Cooper's been flying out them gates too, though. That's, yeah.
So here we go. We've got a minute until tape's up. We've got Senna SUMMERS off the inside in blue, Cooper Rushen in yellow off of gate number 2, Jody SCOTT in red off of gate number 3, and Jamie Etherington, he'll be in the white helmet colour off of gate number 4. County Plumbing Supplies, they sponsor heat number 10. And again, good looking heat.
Strong looking heat.
Strong looking heat, yeah, absolutely. So gate 1 and 2, they gave us the heat winners in the last couple. Still not a gate winner off of 3. So there you go, Jody SCOTT. There's your challenge, my friend.
Hopefully you can change that.
Yeah, what can you give us off of gate number 3? So here we go, cracking looking lineup. This one, Jody SCOTT, Senna SUMMERS, Jamie Etherington, Cooper Rushen, heat number 10. Away we go. Cooper's got the gate all wrong, and the Chargers have got the gate all right. Jamie Etherington, even Easton. Cooper's in trouble here. Bad news.
Red lights are on.
Red lights are on. Be interesting to see that one again.
Could see Cooper just, I don't know, maybe a bit of clutch drag or something, but I did see that front wheel just touch the tapes and...
let's have a look here again.
Wait and see. Yep.
Yeah, definitely a touch there. Good spot, Luke, good spot. So they'll for sure send him off for 15, I would have thought.
I'd imagine he'd make a good handful of it there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh. Maybe not. Seems to be walking. Oh, he's walked in. The bike's still getting ready.
Yeah. He's going in. So we will just go again. He will be off of 15, I would imagine. I can't see them. No disrespect at all to Ryan Ingram, but I think that Jen and the Line Cubs will stick with Cooper and just put him off of 15. Which again, you just, yes, you're at a disadvantage because you're 15, but what a run you've got to the first turn.
Yeah, that's it. And, most of those boys might be through it by then, and he'll have that space and that speed to make the outside line really work. And, we'll just have to wait and see, but I could imagine he'd make a good handful of it.
He's gone in, he's taken the helmet off the bike, and they're taking the bike in here. So I think I take it all back, shows what I know. I can see Ryan Ingram with his helmet on. He's going to be coming out, so they're going to switch.
That reserve switch, there you go.
And to be fair, Ryan did push Aaron all the way in that last heat he was out, so he's growing in confidence.
Just not giving up till the line, which makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Push all the way.
So we are going to see Ryan Ingram join Jamie Etherington in this one. So another small change to the programme. So the boys coming back round, 2 minutes are well and truly on. Ryan Ingram will be the first one to come round. There he is on screen. So he comes in for Cooper Rushen, is excluded for touching the tapes. And Leicester decided to do a complete switch and stick somebody off of the tapes. So Senna SUMMERS blue, he'll be off of gate number 1. Ryan Ingram reserve switch, he'll be in yellow, reserve sub. He'll be in yellow off of gate number 2. Jody SCOTT, 2 wins from 2 for Jody. He'll be in red off of gate number 3. Jamie Etherington, a couple of third places for him so far. He's going to be in white off of gate number 4. County Plumbing Supplies, they're sponsoring heat number 10. Get a couple of shout outs, a couple of runs this afternoon. 31.23. I didn't actually see the Cooper tape touch first time around. I saw him miss the gate, but I didn't see that tiny roll. Did you spot that with the naked eye? Yeah, I didn't see that one.
No,
I didn't see that one. I think I was just concentrating on the Chargers making the gate.
Yeah.
So just a quick shout out, if you are a Leicester fan and you're joining us, we're really delighted to have you on board this afternoon for the stream. If you were at the meeting this morning, I hope you enjoyed it. Any of our regular Oxford viewers that pick and choose when they come to the meeting or where they watch us, it's great to have you. And anybody else who's up for a Speedway fix, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. A very, very hot afternoon. Hope you've avoided a Sunday roast today and gone for something, maybe a ploughman's on this hot Sunday afternoon. Here we go, heat number 10. Tapes up, a little bit of a hold on the tapes that time, but no change in the way the boys have gated. The Chargers have made a flying start. Jody SCOTT out front, Senna SUMMERS in second place. Ryan Ingram, he takes up the battle in third spot with Jamie Etherington at the back, but Senna's just got to look up the inside, keep an eye on Ryan Ingram, who, to be fair to Ryan Ingram, has grown as the meeting's gone on, hasn't he?
Yeah, for sure. He's building confidence, building speed, but no, applying that pressure to Senna. Which Senna's either got to stick tight or stick wide here, and yeah, go with that. But it seems to be going well, and again, you know, Jody's just about got the length of a straight on the rest of the boys.
Yeah,
so.
Jody's just about got his nose in front. But Senna has pulled away now for Ryan Ingram. He's buzzing around all over his exhaust pipe for a couple of laps there, but Senna now has stamped his authority on this one and has got a comfortable second place from Ryan Ingram. And again, I'll repeat what I just said, fair play to Ryan Ingram, because he has really grown in stature and speed as the afternoon has gone on, but this man grows in stature every time he comes out on track for Oxford. Win for Jody SCOTT, similar story for Senna SUMMERS. Third was Ryan Ingram, and at the back was Jamie Etherington. So it is another 5-1, and this one now starting to get away from the away side. But a great performance again from Jody, another win.
Never in doubt.
Never in doubt, absolutely not. And Senna's picked up points in every one of his heats this afternoon. He's going to be delighted with that.
The boys just soaking up the love, hey?
Yeah, that's good to see. I always love a lap of celebration meet.
And there's a great crowd here at Oxford too.
Should be compulsory. Massive 5-1 to the home side there. Jody SCOTT with the win, Senna SUMMERS second, Ryan Ingram in third, Jamie Etherington fourth. 5-1, 36-24 as we move into heat number 11. We'll probably get a small break after this one. So here we can see it from the start, and to be fair, as a repeat of the first one, both the Chargers made the gate from 1 and 3. Yeah, you can see there the races are. The race wasn't done and dusted. It was for Jody. Just knew where to put that back wheel to get that traction down the back straight.
Yeah, he's got that maturity, he's got that confidence, and he's got plenty of experience around here now too. So I'd say he knows it like the back of his hand.
And he gives us a win off of gate 3.
Absolutely. Forgot about that bit. That's good.
Bit. Yeah, so we've got a full quarter of race wins now. No excuses for anybody. You can gate and win from anywhere. And he just made the gate. And it's almost like his intelligence to just move up to get near the bottom of the bag, then to get the drive forward. It's lovely to watch. Again, from a non-rider like myself, it's really, you look at that like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, no, it's as I just touched on, plenty of experience for him now, and no, it's good to see, and he wouldn't have had the time to look, I don't think, but Senna made it there. They basically got to that first corner together, so he gave Senna plenty of room to ride his own race, and Jody took off, did his own thing.
He certainly did. So Freddy HODDER, he's going to be out in this one, and for the third race of the afternoon for Freddy, he's going to come up against Cooper Rushen, who's going to come in the yellow helmet colour here for Harry Fletcher, who will sit this one out, and he'll join Ben Morley to get a pretty strong pairing for the away side in this one. up against Freddy HODDER, and I think, yeah, this is Max Broadhurst's third programme ride. Yeah, Max, he'll come out for the third time, and again, he's a young guy, he's learning as he's going, but he's finding the going pretty tough at the moment.
Yeah, that's it. But you know, each rider will have good patches and rough patches. You just got to take it as it comes and keep knuckling down.
You certainly do. Off the inside in white, in the heat number 11, Smiths Bletchley sponsor this one. Ben Morley in white off the inside, 5 points from his 2 rides. Freddy HODDER red, guesting this afternoon. He's in the red helmet colour. 2 second places for him. Cooper Rushen, he's got 11 points on the board from his rides. He's a reserve, switching this one for Harry Fletcher. Yellow off of gate 3. And Max Broadhurst, 2 rides, failed to score so far. Learning as he's going, blue on the outside for Oxford. So there is a bit of a gap there now. 12-point gap on the afternoon, 12-point gap on the aggregate point. But if they've got 2 riders that can make a change to that, it's Ben Morley and Cooper Rushen. Yeah,
absolutely. They're on the ideal gates too. You know, we haven't, apart from Jody in the last one, we haven't seen a win. But there's no doubt that Cooper's capable.
So is that looking like that's not a clean bike that Cooper's on there, is it? Is it a clean machine? It's hard to see from up here. Maybe. We'll see. Here we go. Heat number 11. Takes up and away we go. Freddy HODDER's made a great gate over the top of Ben Morley. Similar to Jody Scott, Cooper Rushen's gone right out to where that grip is and has used it to massive effect down the back straight to get over the top of Freddy HODDER, who made a great gate. Ben Morley's hugging that curb, coming up the inside, trying to come up the inside of Freddy HODDER. So Freddy's got his work out in this one to hold on to that second place, but he does it for the moment. Cooper's out front, Freddy HODDER second, Ben Morley third, but Freddy's got some work to do.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we can see him working at the bottom of the bags there, just trying to find all the drive he can. But then, you know, you look back to Ben Morley and he's working that bike down on the curve, and he's got just as much speed.
Yeah, they're both. There's no difference in the gap between the two. Freddy HODDER's outside, although say it now, there is now. Because Freddy HODDER seems to have got speed from somewhere, and he's now putting Cooper Rushen out front. He's really putting him under pressure. He's got 2 laps to do it. Is he going to go big around the outside on the last 2 turns? Keep an eye on Freddy HODDER here in red. Oh, run to the line.
Just had that door shut.
Had that door shut. Rode the right line there, but all of a sudden Freddy just seemed to find something.
I think Cooper dropped back just on the inside of that dirt line, so you know he's covering that extra ground, but for no extra grip. And no, Freddy was right out in it, and yeah, it showed. Made up loads of ground.
Yeah, one more lap.
Oh, for sure.
I think he'd have had him there. But it is a 4-2. Fair play to the away side. They pick up that heat advantage. It's another win on the board for Cooper Rushen.
And Cooper's scored half of Leicester's points.
He certainly has. He certainly has. He's on a big 14. He was the winner of heat number 11, as we can see there from Freddy HODDER. Second place of the afternoon for him. Point on the board for Ben Morley, and Max Broadhurst there, spectator, fourth place. 4-2 to Leicester, 38-28 as we move into the interval, 10-point gap. But that race was good. That race went to the checkered flag, and yeah, another lap, and maybe Freddy would have got him.
Maybe so. No, it's good when you get to see a race that lasts a full 4 laps.
Because literally at the point that I was, here we go, here's the run to the line. You could see Cooper looked and moved out. Just saw him take a little glance over his shoulder there, and he knew what Freddy was going to do. He knew the line he was going to take, and intelligent just moved out so that Freddy couldn't get full drive coming off of 4 and just
yeah. That run. And I mean, if Cooper had have tried to hold the curb there, he wouldn't have had the wheels in line as early, and yeah, I'd say Freddy had that run. So. Yeah,
and then we can see the gate stats. It is a different picture all of a sudden. 2, 3, 2, 4. There's winners off of all gates. The last 2 coming off of gate 3 from Jody and Cooper. Points across the board as well. So it's just starting to even out a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. And maybe that's a sign that 4's going off a little bit, which I'm surprised it's lasted so long. Yeah. However, a bit more water down here now, as we can see, and that should get that moisture back in and even it out again. Yeah,
so they'll come out now and just do a bit of track work. They'll get the Bowser out, get the tractor out. We might try and go over to Laura in a moment. We might try and take you through the race scores maybe after we head over to the pits and hear from Laura.
Thank you, guys. Interval stage of the night here. Going to bring you to Pit Bay, which is full of action, and is that of Cooper Rushen. He's just having a chat over there with Ben Morley. I am going to go and see if I can grab him for a second. Cooper, can I borrow you? Thank you so much. We are on our way. Let's come out here where there's a bit of a breeze. Cooper, you are having an amazing day. How is it feeling from your side of things?
Yeah, you know, it's been a pretty good start, definitely, but you know, we've still got another ride to go, and the score's close-ish, so we need to try and keep it in it for the team, and that's all we can do. We was unlucky not to get the win at Leicester, but Oxford did it when it counted, and yeah, but I'm enjoying riding my bike, so I can't complain.
And we saw you have a little bit of bike trouble earlier on, and you jumped on Ben Morley's bike last minute. When you came back in, you still had a massive smile on your face. So sometimes I feel like that would throw riders, but it didn't seem to faze you.
No, like I said, I just love riding my bike, so anything is an engine, so as long as it's got an engine and two wheels, we can ride it. So yeah, we just had a bit of problem with the fuel lines leaking. I think, well, it's obviously quite hot, and I think it's just all kind of coming into play, but no, cheers to Ben for letting me do that. I enjoyed riding. He's got a nice bike, so yeah, but fair play to Darryl.
And the eagle-eyed viewers amongst us has noticed that you might be wearing like an air vest. Just tell us a little bit about how that works.
Well, so you connect it to the bike, and I believe it's got a 25 kg pull on it, and it goes off in something like 0.00 seconds. So no, I wouldn't feel safe riding without one, for me personally. Massive shout out to Helite, you know, thank you so much for your support. Everyone's got to get on them eventually, because I've had a couple mates with the neck braces breaking collarbones, and with this you have no problem. It's lightweight, you don't even know it's on you, and allows you to ride better and safer. So check out helite.co.uk.
And then one last thing from me. It seems like you're doing your bit for the sport away from the track as well. I saw something on social media. Did you take someone to the prom on your bike?
I did indeed, yeah. Massive shout out to the Killeen, because they made that happen. Alan Colby and his daughter Summer. Yeah, you know, it was a great experience. It was, yeah, a lot of people there, which was cool, and you know, I think that's the way we're going to help promote the sport. You know, you've got to get out there, because a lot of people seem really interested in it when we're there. There was a lot of shouting and a lot of like, what is this? So, yeah, you know, we've got to get the sport out there. That's what keeps it going. So, you know, it keeps the fans, if the fans are coming in, then it's paying the riders' bills and keeping the clubs going. And all us riders want to do is ride our bikes and earn a little bit of money here and there.
Cooper, it's been a pleasure to speak to you. We will probably see you another couple of times on track tonight. Best of luck.
I just want to say a massive thank you to all my sponsors who have made this happen. My dad, my mum, my sister, everyone that made me get here. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, that's put a massive smile on my face. Let's have a wander down to the Oxford side of the pits, and let's see if we can possibly grab Pete, and let's just see if he is busy. Well, he's just having a quick drink. Hi, Pete. Hello. Oh, so big lead so far this evening, and a brilliant afternoon at Leicester for the Chargers. You must be happy.
Very happy. Now the boys, you know, I enjoy these lads anyway. You know, that's what I call the raw side of Speedway. You know, they're all learning and one thing and another, and they all got a smile on their face today. And you know, we've done a great job so far, but it's not quite finished yet. We've got to finish it off, and then we can say we had a great day.
I have to say, there's a buzz in the Oxford and the Leicester camp, and it's just a really lovely atmosphere. I feel like this league is what it's all about.
Definitely. You know, this is the foundation of Speedway, and I've always said all along, you know, that's what needs to be looked after. And you know, when I look through the sort of, you know, through the pits, and there's so many young kids which I've seen growing up from down here, from the training schools. And so, yeah, it does make you proud when you see it, you know, but now it's the time that we all look after them properly. And hopefully everybody helps along a little bit, so, and yeah, have a good future.
Thank you, Pete. We'll let you get back to your bottle of water. Couple of interviews. I really enjoyed those ones, guys. What have you got to say about those? I will hand you.
Catching Pete unawares there. He was having a quick swig, and Laura moved in. So yeah, great interviews, Laura. Thank you. It's good to have you down in the pits. And Cooper Rushen, massive smile on his face. He's loving life.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, I've only met him a handful of times, but I've never seen him not smiling.
No,
and, no, he's always, yeah, wants to say hello. He always lets on to everyone, and no, he's just a great kid, happy kid.
Yeah, and there's a happy guy there. Senna giving us a wave. What's he on? He's on 6 paid 8.
Wow.
Really good return from him so far. Maybe we'll try and pull up the scores in a minute and have a look. Jody unbeaten. And again, Freddy coming in for Jacob. 3 solid second places. So Yeah, maybe let's go top to bottom. We'll go for the Leicester Lion Cubs first. Ben Morley, who's obviously guesting this afternoon. 6 points for him from his 3 rides, pretty solid. Harry Fletcher, he's found the going a little bit tough at number 2, but again, he's a young lad. He's really just starting out in the sport, but he'll gain a lot from this experience this afternoon. Jamie Etherington, a couple of 3rd places, failed to get anything in that last one. Max James, his afternoon's getting much better, fell off in the first one. And then a great win from the back in his 3rd ride for his 4 points. Ryan Ingram, fair play to Ryan. He's grown as this meeting has gone on. I've been really impressed with his attitude and his commitment. He's got a couple of points on the board. And then Cooper Rushen there. He's got, like you say, half the team's points. But there is an exclusion in there for touching the tapes as well. So that would be his 6 of his rides taken up. There's only room for 1 more. And for the home side, well, it's a really pretty picture. Jody SCOTT, 3 from 3. Doesn't look like anyone's going to touch him this afternoon, but we've still got a couple of races to go. Senna, excellent from that number 2 berth, which is a really tricky place to ride. 6 paid 8. I'll be really happy with that. And same thing for Arran. He's solid in there. 5 paid 7 from his 3 rides so far. Similar story for Ashton. Good race win first time out in that 5-1 with Arran. Ashton 6+1 for his 7 points. Freddy HODDER, solid guest, 3 second places, all behind Cooper, but solid. Max Broadhurst, again, a little bit like Harry Fletcher for the away side, learning as he's going. And a great win last time out for Darryl RITCHINGS. He's paid 7 from his 3 rides so far. So, yeah, pretty picture for the home side.
Yeah, it's good, and no, relatively tight scoreline too.
Yeah, it's only 10 points. You've got to say the away side. Will it just get away from them now? We're going to see Jody a couple of times. We're going to see Darryl. He's only had 3 rides, so we're going to see him 2 or 3 more times. So I think that might just inch away a little bit. But they're having a good go at it, Leicester.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, 3-5-1s and Leicester up by 2. So there's still all to play for.
Yeah, most definitely. And we've got to remember they're depleted. They haven't got Max Perry this afternoon. They've lost Sonny Springer. Ben Morley's doing a similar job to potentially Ben Trigger. 6 points from the 3 rides. So, yeah, they're depleted. So they're coming and giving it a good go. I can see Ryan Ingram there with the yellow helmet colour ready to go, so he's going to be back out again. He's going to take 5 rides this afternoon at least.
I think he's had his 5.
So he's had 5, Ryan. Yeah. So this will be his 6th.
Busy boys.
This will be his 6th. You can see him there talking to Eli Meadows, who got injured at Plymouth. Nasty looking crash at Plymouth. I saw him in there earlier on with his helmet, just getting it checked over again from the clerk of the course, who deemed it unrideable. There's a small like stress fracture of the helmet, and the clerk of the course was saying, look, it would be okay, but you get any impact on that crack in the helmet, it's game over. So put that one on the shelf and go again.
Not worth the risk. Not
worth the risk at all. So yeah, it's a shame we didn't see Eli. I've known Eli for a long time. It's a shame we haven't seen him this afternoon. But yeah, all the tools are out just while we've got this grading break. Everybody's in off the centre green, a much needed break for the paramedics and the track staff who are out in the middle of the circuit. You can see Jamie Lee.
He's loving it.
He's loving life out there. He's put the umbrella away. That's how much he's enjoying it. He did say the umbrella's great because it keeps the equipment shaded for a little while, but as soon as the sun moves, it's pointless.
Yeah. It's good. Topping up the tan.
Topping up the tan out there. So yeah, there's Harry Fletcher. 3 last places, but he'll learn from the experience, won't he, Luke? He'll gain something from this today for sure.
That's it. And, you can do as many practice sessions as you want, and laps are very good. They're very valuable. But, nothing beats lining up against 3 other riders behind the tapes. It's reaction times, and in practice you can ride wherever you want on the track and you can feel fast and great. But when you can't take your preferred line, you've really got to learn how to work out other riders, where they ride, and, smart. Quick decisions.
And I know Jody's only probably a couple of years older than the likes of Harry Fletcher and Ryan Ingram, but they should be looking at what he does here and how he rides. And to be fair, Cooper's riding a similar line. Ben's got the ability to do it as well. You take the opportunity to watch those guys as well, don't you? And look what they're doing on the track to such great effect.
That's it. I've not got too much of a background knowledge on Harry Fletcher, but I think Jody's definitely got more experience. He's definitely been around for a while now, and it just goes to show at this level, Jody's probably one of them front runners that you want to try and copy what he's doing at this point.
So it's hard to say because we're still halfway through this season. But would Jody be looking potentially at this being his last year at this level?
I'm not too sure. I think they brought in a rule about championship averages, and I believe that's why I'm not in the National League this year.
But maybe end up being a similar story.
You never know. Maybe he'll, maybe he'll fit in. You know, the rules have changed almost every year, and maybe he will be able to, or maybe he doesn't want to. We don't know, but bike time's good, and you know, when I'm speaking with Pete, he said he wishes I could have done it, because when you're making them gates and you're scoring the big points and you're winning races, it's confidence, and it applies through all levels of racing. It's not just, you know, the National League. It's confidence and ability.
And I've always said that about that top division. I love to see yourself and other riders stepping up into those reserve berths in that top division. But that's hard. It's such a big step, isn't it? I don't think we really... I think we do, actually, to be fair, we probably do realise it's a huge step. But when you're on there and you're lining up with some of the world's best riders, that's tough going, eh?
Yeah, and it's... you know, we've been against Bellevue before, and I believe they're back here not too far from now, and you've got number 2, and I think Dan popped up to number 3 in the world at the moment. Yeah. So, you know, it's tough, but we got to deal with it, and it's only going to bring me on as a rider.
Yeah, and that's the attitude that you've got to have. You've got to see it that way, even though you might run a few more last places than you would want, of course. You've got to see it as that learning process, and you are stepping up that ladder all the time.
That's it, and when you're following those faster boys as well, you feel more comfortable going at that quicker pace, because obviously there's a big skill gap, but if they can do it, it's obviously possible, so why can't I?
100%. Right, we've had the grading break, we've had a bit of an interval, everybody's back out on track. The paramedics that are stood on turns 3 and 4, they're currently winning because they're in the shade, but here we go. Ryan Ingram, he's off the inside in yellow for Leicester. 2 points for him so far. Arran Butcher, paid 7 for him from his rides. He's in red off of gate number 2. Jamie Etherington, couple of points for him. He's in white off of gate number 3. And off of the outside in blue will be Darryl Richings. Good win last time out. He's going to be off of that gate number 4. So Colin Perkins, Property Maintenance, they sponsor heat number 12. There we go. There's the paramedics in the shade. They're winning. They're winning that paramedic battle. The boys on and lady on turns 1 and 2. They're in the sun. So again, it's only a 10-point gap. So if Jamie Etherington, Ryan Ingram can get in amongst it here going into the first turn, you never know. Leicester might be able to eat back into this 10-point advantage that the home side have got. Here we go then. Start Marshall walks away. Green light is on. Tapes are up, and it's an even break from the tapes going up into that first turn. Pretty congested. But Arran Butcher's rode a really nice line there. Keep an eye. Oh, 4 down the back straight in a line. And sadly, I think that was always going to happen. I think the red lights are going to come on here. I think that is possibly the first time I've ever seen 4 riders in a line here going into turn 3.
That's tight.
Wow.
That was a great run from Darryl. You know, his gate 4 isn't quite what it was, and he's not made the best of starts. But again, working that outside line on the first 2 bends, and he got there and he got into that 3rd bend first.
Yeah, didn't he ever? That was incredible. I don't think I've seen 4 boys there in a line going into turn 3. It was almost like the start line was on the opposite side to us. That was pretty incredible. Everyone made the gate. Everyone went through the first 2 turns together. Might try and see if we can see that from the tapes in its entirety. But let's just switch to Jamie on track. We hope he's okay. It was Jamie Etherington that came down there in that 3rd turn. Did look a bit uncomfortable as he span round, so we obviously won't look at any replays or anything until we know that Jamie's okay. But 4 going into there, I always felt that might not end up with all 4 on. Yeah,
well, and those 2 boys who got caught up in the middle, I think Jamie may have been one of them, and I'm not quite too sure who the other was, but that's definitely very tight because you've not got a lot of room for movement.
I think it was the element of surprise with Darryl coming into the mix.
Possibly, yeah. He just came from nowhere, burst through the gap, and was probably lucky to stay on considering the rider on his left come off.
Yeah, so Jamie's still down, so we hope he's okay. Our thoughts with him for the moment. It was a bit of an untidy, tangly looking crash with rider and bike staying together. So we hope he's okay. But yeah, all 4 boys made the gate and literally all went in. Darryl was obviously the one that was just doing a bit of chasing, but yeah, an even break from the start.
That's it, even break into the 3rd bend somehow. Yeah, no, it's good to see, you know, close racing, but quite unfortunate circumstances at the moment.
Yeah, let's hope that Jamie's all right. Obviously, we just have a bit of a break here while we the paramedics are with him. And they're still down with him on track. Just a little bit concerned, fingers crossed he's okay. But yeah, when you go down and you can't get away from the bike, that is when, you know, you can pick up all types of little horrible injuries that way, can't you?
Yeah, you know, you get tangled with it, you get twisted, or
Footrest and foot pegs and everything that can cause problems.
Yeah, Tate Ziski at Bellevue
Yeah,
last year.
wow.
That's we won't go there,
No.
but no, it just proves your point a little bit more that it's the best circumstance is to get away from the bike.
Yeah, and again, just going. Is he up?
He's up on his feet.
Magnificent. That's good news.
Looks like a bit of discomfort in his face.
Yeah,
but,
that's good news.
No, he's up, and that's the main thing.
Just a bit of a help back to pits. So now we know he's okay. That's great news. So here we go. We can see it. So yeah, they're all starting to spread like normal races do. But then here, up the inside came Ryan Ingram. Darryl RITCHINGS down the outside. I just think it was the element of surprise. You can just see there, he's caught up with the bike. It's all tangled and ugly, and he's obviously taken a whack to the lower half of his body there. I think from the limp. But he'll be excluded for that, I would have thought. I don't think there was any contact from anybody. I think, is that the white line on? Can we see? It's hard to see with the sun on it, isn't it?
It is quite hard. Maybe. Don't quote me.
Yeah, we might try and just grab a quick look at the replay again. I think he'll see himself out. He's got into the limp. You can see the guys. Darryl is way behind here, to be fair. And then he catches up and gets round the outside and goes into that bend first. Yeah, I think it was just that element of surprise. A bit similar to Max James earlier on, I think, because that was Darryl as well, I think.
Yeah, but not a lot of room for him to sort of move that leg in and start turning the bike as well. You know, Arran was still there.
Yeah.
I don't believe there was contact, but no, there's obviously no room for him to do what he needs to do to enter the corner properly.
Nice to see Jody and Ashton there just checking on him as he walks by. But yeah, I think by the look of it, everyone else is still on track, so he will be excluded from the rerun as the cause of the stoppage there, Jamie. Don't forget that, we just hope he's okay, and that's nothing serious that he's picked up there. But he will be excluded from the rerun. It will be 3 riders only. Ryan Ingram is going to go it alone against Arran BUTCHER and Darryl RITCHINGS. But we've seen Jody do that to great effect. We've seen Cooper and now Darryl come from so deep on turn 2 down that back straight into the lead going into turn 3.
Yeah, it's a line that's very well known to Oxford riders. But I must say I'm pleasantly surprised that it is working. Yeah. On a Sunday afternoon. I know it's not as early as it usually is, but it's a very warm day and the sun is still out. So it's it's great that the track curators have got that to keep working.
And no dust.
Absolutely, I think
that's massive. We're on heat 12 and we've had no dust. So that's Jamie Courtney there on the left, the promoter here, and track credit 10 out of 10 for him and Wayne for doing this track this afternoon like they've done it.
Yeah, it's the moisture's holding better than ever, and no better way to test it truly than a hot Sunday afternoon. So no credit to them. Yeah,
they've done a great job, and it's given us races, given us action. We've seen quite a few really good rides this afternoon. And, something for everybody to enjoy, and again, it's still only a 10-point gap. Leicester are up against it to try and get anything from this now. There we go, there's Ryan Ingram. He's going to run solo in this one. He's up against it. Again, I'm sounding like a broken record, but I'm very impressed with him as his afternoon's gone on. He's really learnt as he's gone, and you can see he's going faster and he's closer to the opposition than he was earlier on.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we've seen it a few meetings ago with Mark Parker here. As the afternoon went on, he just kept, growing in confidence and speed and stature. So it's great to see that happening again. Yeah,
good on him. So he's going to be off the inside in yellow in this one. Colin Perkins, Property Means, they sponsor heat number 12. This is a rerun. Ryan Ingram yellow off of gate number 1. Arran BUTCHER red off of gate number 2. No Jamie ETHERINGTON as the cause of the stoppage in the first one. He's excluded. So nobody off of gate number 3. And then Darryl RITCHINGS, he's going to be in the blue almond colour off of gate number 4. So a lot of work to do here for Ryan off of gate 1. But Darryl will be looking to repeat what he did there. Ride a white line, get that grip down that back straight, So that's the back of Jamie Lee. You can just see that padded support your riders behind him. That has been put at every track. So essentially in front of the starting gate post, just in case anybody comes off onto the centre green, so to speak. It'll stop them from hitting that the padded barrier, stops them from hitting the starting gate. So a bit of a safety measure taken at all tracks there. They're compulsory this year.
A great little bit of promotion for the Ben Fund too.
And a great bit of PR for the Ben Fund, absolutely. Great shout. Right, here we go then. Heat number 12. We'll try again. Arran Butcher and Darryl RITCHINGS up against Ryan Ingram. Takes up, and Ryan's made a good gate off of 1 as Arran off of 2, and Arran just gets moved over. So here we go. Race on. Ryan Ingram, he's made the gate. He's got himself out front. Darryl RITCHINGS looks quick as he just goes in a little bit deeper into turn 3 and 4. Is he going to find speed out there? He certainly has. Used it to fantastic effect, Darryl RITCHINGS. But keep an eye on Ryan Ingram. He's going to put it back to him. Is there going to be space? Darryl RITCHINGS around the outside. Excellent couple of laps from Darryl RITCHINGS and Ryan Ingram there. Good speedway.
It's still going. Oh,
wow. Close. Really close from them two. Yeah, excellent ride so far, Luke.
Wow, it's no, plenty of passing. I'd say, you know, just as much passing as the rest of the afternoon. But no, it's a great ride between these two. You know, they're not the heat leaders in this race, and they're the ones creating the show.
Yeah, they certainly are. Darryl back out front. He's just stamped a bit of authority on it now, but that was a great 2 or 3 laps there from himself and Ryan Ingram. Really putting it to each other, making it an excellent spectacle. But Darryl RITCHINGS, he will take the checkered flag in the end from Ryan Ingram, from Arran Butcher, who had the best seat in the house as that race developed. But what it does do is it does give that home side, it does give the Chargers the home side a heat advantage. But hats off to Darryl RITCHINGS and Ryan Ingram, because that was a decent race.
What a ride. I'd like to see that again in full, to be honest. That's,
excellent race.
That was something. And a signature wheelie.
Does love a back wheel, Darryl RITCHINGS. Does love a back wheel. So he took the checkered flag there from Darryl RITCHINGS. Ryan Ingram second, Arran Butcher third, no Jamie Everington in fourth. So 4-2 to the home side. 12-point lead now, 42-30. The meeting pretty much done and dusted. But excellent race, that one. Ryan Ingram, he made a great gate, didn't he? Put it to them.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, Darryl had different ideas this time round, and he tried to make that cut back. But, no, Ryan had that inside corridor just shut. And, yeah, it made Darryl work for it for sure.
He really did. We had 2 or 3 laps there with them two going at it. You can see Darryl here, around the outside. Great grip, great line. But here, because he's got so much speed, he's having to go a bit wider. And Ryan, very clever, hugs the curb a bit.
And he's just making him work for it, lap and lap again. It's awesome to see.
And even here, Darryl just had the room, had to have a little look. But yeah, that was where he started to pull away. But excellent heat. And again, fours coming back into play a tiny bit there with a win. But wins from everywhere, points from everywhere. Gates are giving us good options as we move into the big heat number 13. It is a 12-point gap. They need something incredibly special here now, Leicester, if they're going to take anything from this. 3 5-1s. That will take us to a super heat.
Another one.
Yeah.
Well.
But with Jody SCOTT on the inside in red in this one, heat 13, that might be a little stretch too far. Ben MORLEY, white helmet colour, he'll be off at gate number 2. Freddy HODDER, blue, gate number 3. And Max James, 4 points for him, here being yellow off at the outside. Jamie Lee Sound Enterprises, they sponsor Heat 13. And it's a cracking race, this one. 4 excellent riders. Jody SCOTT unbeaten. Freddy HODDER, 3 second places. Solid 6 points for Ben MORLEY. And in Max James, a rider who won his last race. So, should be a good one.
And vastly experienced at this level too. It's no, they've all definitely got hunger in them, and they've got the guts to give it some elbows in that first bend too. So no, it should be a great race. Yeah, it should be a great race, this one. Looking forward to this. Jamie Lee Sound Enterprises, that is our DJ on the centre green every week. Jamie can be seen busting a move at times. He is the sponsor of Heat 13. Here we go then, 20 seconds and counting. Tapes go up on Heat 13. Jody SCOTT, Freddy HODDER, Ben MORLEY, Max James. Here we go, Heat 13. Jody SCOTT off the inside, Freddy HODDER off a 3. Will he get the run around? Ben MORLEY certainly does, into that second place. Now will the Chargers work together, or will Jody SCOTT just get his head down and disappear? Ben MORLEY's riding the curb like he did earlier on. Just not able to get the inside of Freddy HODDER, but
we could well see a battle here for the second place, Luke.
Yeah, and Freddie's just making that dirt line work coming out of the corners. And no, he's either got to commit or chop back because Ben's really quick on that curve.
Yeah, it looks like he has just stamped a bit of a run on this one here now. Gets it back under control, but Jody SCOTT out front from Freddy HODDER. Ben Morley third. It looks like it is going to be a 5-1 with a lap to go. And Jody SCOTT, no one's got near him this afternoon.
Again. Yeah, no surprise at that at all. He's really dominating in this level, and especially at Oxford. He's flying once again.
There we go. There's the meeting. There's the 4 rides, 4 wins for Jody SCOTT, and it's 4 rides, 4 second places for Freddy HODDER. He's proved an excellent guest this afternoon, but it is a big 5-1. Jody's looked great. Freddie's been superb. And Ben was trying to make that inside line work, but Freddie was just back wheel on the right spot and pulling away.
Yeah, that's it. It's, we could see Freddie covering a lot more ground than Ben, and Ben did have the bike working down low, but Freddie gained that extra grip and paid dividends.
There we go then. Jody SCOTT with 4th win of the afternoon. Freddy HODDER with his 4th second place of the afternoon. They get a 5-1 over Ben Morley and Max James to make the progressive score 47-31. So that is the aggregate point in the bag. That's the points for the meeting in the bag. Oxford are confirming themselves as top of the league as we finish today. Here we can see it from the start, and it's pretty much where the work was done really. Freddie made a good one off the 3. You can see him getting loads of pull going up there into turn 1. Ben just looking at the inside, but just couldn't make it work there, could he, Ben?
No, it's tough. You know, when there's people going here, there, and everywhere coming out them second bends. It's.
I thought he might just get that run up the inside there, but Freddie was just in wheels in line and pulling away. There we can see the gates and the ruts developing. Tends to be 3 or 4 off of every start position, doesn't there? Is that normal? That's the norm, really.
Yeah, that's the norm. And no, they're looking. I don't know if it's angle with the shadows, maybe, but they are looking quite deep at the moment.
Yeah.
And no, just pack a bit of loose shale in there, and.
So normally I see quite a large one wide for Spires and Cheaters meetings. Looks a bit different today for that. There's not a wider, deeper rut.
Yeah, it's right in that build-up of where the dirt gets thrown up against the kickboards. There's usually a rut right at the bottom of that because early on and throughout that racing line is over gate 4 with the upper leagues, and it's the only real spot of grip off of gate 4 later on is right up on that fence. So people tend to pack plenty of material in there and try and make a good bit off of the outside.
Right, we're moving into heat 14. And what I'm really pleased to see is Harry Fletcher getting another ride here. He will be in heat 14. He'll be off the inside in the white helmet colour. That will be Harry Fletcher. Off of gate 2 in blue will be Max Broadhurst. Cooper Rushen, he's coming out for his 7th ride. He's off of gate 3 in the yellow helmet colour. And Ashton VALE, he's in red off of gate number 4. AW Mobs, Building Supplies, they sponsor heat 14 and they do power the chargers as well. They sit alongside the team sponsor of the Real Mini Company, AW Mobs, great support of Oxford and charges at this level. So Cooper Rushen, he's got his 7th ride here. This is his meeting done. Great to see young Harry Fletcher coming out again for another ride. That's good. Pleased to see that.
Valuable experience.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially for Max Broadhurst as well. So we've potentially got 2 races in one here. Ashton VALE, Cooper Rushen off the outside. They'll make the gate. Cooper makes a great gate. Just keep an eye on Harry Fletcher. He's worked the curve beautifully there and got himself into 2nd place. So Ashton VALE's got some work to do here if he's going to get himself up into 2nd place. Well, this could be an excellent second for Harry Fletcher if he can hold on to this. Ashton VALE has got some work to do.
Yeah, that's it. We can see Ashton's trying all sorts of different lines just to try and work out, the quickest way round behind Harry. But no, Harry's looking smooth. He's setting. Ooh, spoke too early.
Oh, he's just got himself in trouble. That's a real shame. I'm not sure he's going to get the bike up either. That's a real shame. And we are Oxford TV. That's we're here to support the charge, but that's a real shame.
That is. No, he was riding so well as well and putting smooth laps together, which is great to see.
You called. I was looking at the boys at the front more so than him, and he just seemed to get in trouble in the apex of 3 and 4, and just got dragged out into that deeper stuff, didn't he? Just couldn't get off the bottom of the bag.
Yeah, he, I don't know. He seemed to his foot. Here we see.
Yeah, so we've got both the Leicester riders on screen there. Cooper's out front, just straightened up a little bit.
Yeah, his foot got caught on the way in. I think that unsettled him a bit, but he did do really well to not go into the bags really heavy and just lay that bike down.
Yeah, that's a real shame because he was looking good in that one, Harry Fletcher, and he was going to pick up a couple of points, but unfortunately for him, he'll see himself. Well, that's a real shame. So he'll be excluded from that one. He'll see himself excluded from the rerun of that one. I'm going to have a rerun. Cooper Rushen was out front. What it does do is it gives Ashton VALE the opportunity to go again. And what it does do as well, you take it when you can get it. It will give Max Broadhurst the opportunity to get a point on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a great couple of gates from 3 and 4. I don't know, it just seemed that, Cooper had that bit more drive and Ashton sort of seemed to, come unsettled by Cooper's back wheel coming in that first bend, and it created more room for Harry Fletcher to make that inside line work.
Yeah, so good. So he's just getting a bit of help with that bike back to the pits. And you can see that's Jen Crossland there, she's the Leicester manager. Again, real shame, but what it does do is it does give Ashton and Max the opportunity again to try and get a gate over the top of Cooper. If they can lower his colours with a race to go. So Wayne Hutt just giving the boys a hand there, getting the bike back off track. As soon as they get back in the pits, I imagine is that back wheel lock, chain off maybe?
Yeah, it seems so.
Yeah.
Hard to tell. I think it was missing, yeah.
There's Max Broadhurst on the bike. That's his dad, Wayne. Stood to the right of him. The rider I saw ride many times. He was good on the indoor stuff. They did a couple of those indoor meetings on the ice and on the... He was good at that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was good at that. He was a really good rider, established rider at like National League and lower championship level as it is now. He's a good rider, Wayne. So 2 minutes are on. We are going to go again. Been a long day for these guys. There's a lot of speedway in one day for these boys, eh?
Oh, absolutely. In this heat too, that's going to take a huge toll. And I wouldn't be surprised if a bike or two is left dirty for tomorrow.
Yeah, I was going to say, who does the cleaning when we get back? Because again, we talk about the riders, but the mechanics as well. They're running around in that heat, between heats, helping other riders if they need it as well. And it's a long day for everybody, so hats off to everybody from Leicester and Oxford for getting 2 good meetings on today. 2 well-attended meetings. Oh, Cooper's got a problem again here. I don't know if we can get... Yeah, there's Paul, he's on the cam, he's there, on the spot. He's taking the Jubilee clip off there.
Just looks like one of the P clamps to hold the exhaust up is dropped off.
Okay.
Which no, there's plenty more support, but it's far from ideal.
So he could go like that, he could run like that, but yeah, it looks like they're going to grab another one. They've got 50 seconds until again. He's had a couple of these this afternoon. A bit of tape won't put right.
That's it, hey.
Can Dow get the tape out? There we go, good to go. Nobody will even notice. But again, all it does do is it might just unsettle Cooper a little bit.
And he won't have a lot of time left now to, try and do a bit of gardening and give himself that advantage at the start.
No, he won't. So heat 14, AW Mobs. No Harry Fletcher off the inside excluded as the cause of the stoppage. Max Broadhurst blue gate 2, Cooper Rushen yellow gate 3, and Ashton VALE red off of gate number 4. So here we go. We're going to go dive straight into this one. Like Luke said, doesn't give Cooper much time to prepare at the gate. Let's see if that affects him in any way. Nah. Great gate from him, loads of pull. Keep an eye on Ashton though, he's really clever cut back there, and if he can move across and maybe, boom, down the outside. As we've seen a few of the boys do this afternoon, you can get your back wheel out there and make that work. And Cooper's done that to great effect, and he's out front from Ashton VALE. And Max Broadhurst, if he keeps that bike moving, keeps going, he's going to pick up a point this afternoon as well.
Yeah, it's Cooper just working it outside again, and straight away he switched back to the inside, just really standing that bike up, making sure all the tyres are just getting maximum drive out of it.
Yeah, he's been excellent again this afternoon, as he has been in most meetings this season. Whether he's been guesting or he's been riding, he's obviously been on the continent as well. He's looking good, and he's going to get another race win here with a lap to go from Ashton VALE, who isn't a million miles away. Ashton's riding well there in second place, and Max is going to pick up a point in third, which is excellent for him. Really pleased to see that. But yeah, hats off to Cooper Rushen. 5th win of the afternoon of his 7 rides, a tapes exclusion in a 2nd place. Wonderful performance from him. Ashton Vale there with the 2nd place.
That is a huge points haul today.
It's a huge points haul for him today, it certainly is. And it is a 3-3. That takes Oxford to the 50-point mark. With 1 heat to go. Yeah, well done Cooper. He takes that win. 3-3 the final score in that one. Cooper Rushen with the win. Ashton Vale 2nd. Max Broadhurst 3rd. Harry Fletcher excluded in the first run in of that. Thankfully he's okay. 50-34 as we move into the last heat of the afternoon. And yeah, Cooper didn't have much time at the start, but he didn't need much start. He didn't need much time. Made a great gate.
No, just the bike just drove all the way, and once it looked like it stopped, it went again, and yeah, straight to that dirt line and just took off from there.
And Ashton, any other rider apart from Cooper, the line that he took, keeping it narrow and trying to come off, that was a good line to take.
Yeah, it was good from Ashton, but no, Cooper's obviously got the guts and he held on to it, but possibly, you know, moving up into the future, Ashton may be a little bit harsher and shut that door a little bit harder.
Guts and speed, that's all you need.
Yeah, that's it.
Apparently. So, excellent afternoon for Cooper Rushen. And not a bad one at all for Ashton Vale either. He's got a win in there, he's got a couple of 2nd places. He'll be really pleased with his return. So, what we'll do, we'll head over to the pits and we'll see if Laura can't give us who's the runners and riders for 15.
Thank you so much. I can't give you the runners and riders at the minute, but if I spin you round this way, it does look like we've got a golf buggy here ready for a potential victory parade. So hopefully we'll get some shots of that a little bit later on. Do wonder if Senna's driving it, but we will find out. Let's have a wander down this way. I can't see any helmets going on just yet. But to be honest, it could be a number of any people in the Chargers team. Darryl RITCHINGS, will we see him again? He did the 5 on the trot earlier, so I'm sure he's more than capable of going out in Heat 15. I'd love to be on a fly on the wall on that conversation, but they both look very happy. Let's have a one. There comes Senna on the golf buggy. There he goes. I wonder if he makes the gate on that one as well. As I said earlier, as you can see, spirits really are high down here, and it is a pleasure to be around. Let's make our way through the pits and see what's going on in the Leicester camp. So we've got Jody there in the blue helmet colour. So we'll wait for this to be confirmed, but it does look like he is going out in Heat 15. And then I can see a yellow helmet colour down here in the distance. So let's have a walk down. Not quite sure where they've gone, but there was somebody ready to go out. Could be Cooper. Oh no, it's Ben Morley. So we've also got Ben, looks like he's getting ready to go out in the yellow helmet colour. And then possibly Max James has got white on his helmet there ready. But obviously we will wait for this to be confirmed by the race officials on the night. But yeah, it could be a number of any of these riders. Will we see Cooper again? Who knows? Possibly. Let's have a look down here. Yeah, I think it is Max. Yeah, so it looks like we've got Ben and Max. And then I can see in the distance Darryl with his helmet in his hand, with the red helmet colour on, and a cheesy grin on his face. Yep, it looks like we are going to see the man in a moment again. Looks like it's going to be lining up for a really good Heat 15. What does it look like from where you guys are sat up there, Luke and Lee?
Yeah, nice one, Laura. Back up with us. So we've seen some helmet colours. We've seen some helmet colours in there. So I saw Jody SCOTT with the blue on. I saw Max James with the white. I see Senna SUMMERS in a golf cart. He's not going to use that in 15.
He's got the fork cover on though. He's ready.
He's ready to go. And I saw Ben Morley with a yellow on. So we're all but one rider. It's just who's in that red helmet colour for the home side. Is it Darryl RITCHINGS? Yeah, Darryl RITCHINGS. Laura might have mentioned that. Actually, Laura's broke up a little bit there while she was commenting. I didn't quite hear that. But yeah, Darryl RITCHINGS.
again, a really solid lineup.
Excellent last race, and again, any of those guys can jump out the start here and win it. Max James possibly hasn't done what he would have liked to have done today, but when you come up against an Oxford side that are all trapping really well, they're all riding nice lines, all riding well, it's tough, it's hard, eh?
That's it, and you know, a huge part of that too is all the charges of confidence. You know, they're going well everywhere, and that plays a huge part. You know, Jody's got plenty of bike time, and most of the other boys are doing the 2 national leagues too. So it's it's making for some great team atmosphere, and just they're all thriving at the moment.
They certainly are. So you know, you've got to come here and be on Leicester. If they'd have had their full side maybe and everyone firing, it might have been a different story. But Oxford have really put them to the sword this afternoon. Taking a big victory here. So we will move into Heat 15, last heat of the afternoon. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage. Thank you very much for joining us. As we say each week, this is copyright of Oxford Speedway, Oxford TV. So we appreciate you paying for the stream and enjoying the stream. Same as any other track. Buy the streams, enjoy the stream, support the Speedway, support the clubs. Let's get a nice big Heat 15 to finish our afternoon.
He's whipping.
He is, yeah. He's disappointed he's not in 15 with that. But, sorry, Senna. There's Ben Morley's coming out. So, unless TNT or BSN are in town, we will be showing all the streams here from Oxford. So all the Chargers meetings and everything not on those 2 mainstream channels. We will be here. Great for you to join us again before the season is out. Points for Ben Morley so far this afternoon. He'll be looking to add to that as we go into this last one. No surprise to see the Oxford boys on 1 and 3. So here we go. Here's our lineup for Heat 15. World Speedway Riders Association. They sponsor 15. We'll see Darryl RITCHINGS off the inside in the red helmet colour for Oxford. Off gate 2 is Max James in white for Leicester. Jody SCOTT, impeccable 12 points from his 4 rides. He's in blue off of gate number 3. And Ben Morley, he'll be looking to stop that maximum there of Jody SCOTT. He's got 7 points. He'll be in the yellow helmet colour off of gate number 4. The riders watching from the pits, mechanics, some dads in there as well. Nigel Richards and Wayne Broadhurst in shot there. 2 dads of 2 of the riders. So here we go, big 15. Let's hope these guys give us a fantastic race to end our afternoon. Start Marshall, he's done for the afternoon. Green light on, takes up, away we go. And Jody's got some work to do. Great start from Darryl RITCHINGS. Leicester are packing into 2nd and 3rd at the moment. But keep an eye on Jody SCOTT. What can he produce from there? He's going out into that deep stuff, fast stuff. He's picked off 1. Darryl RITCHINGS is out front. Max James is in 2nd. Jody SCOTT is working outside, trying that wider line, building up, generating speed. He's looked to make a move up the inside, just can't make it work. Is he going to get this, Luke?
Oh, it looks like he's got that straight line speed down the straights, and he's just made the dive bomb, maybe overcooked it. And he shut the door. That's a beautiful move from Jody. He's worked his way up, and hopefully Darryl can have a look and let Jody get that full maximum.
Yeah, is he going to get a full 15? He's done really well there to get round Max James, who was riding a sensible line, but Jody knew what he was doing. He's working it really well. He wants that big clean 15.
He does.
Has Darryl got the memo to get out of the way? I think he has.
He does.
Yeah,
what a man.
Go. Excellent stuff. Darryl RITCHINGS and Jody SCOTT. I love that. Great way to end the afternoon. Fair play to Max James. He made it really difficult.
And fair play to Darryl there too. You know, had a quick look, seen it was Jody, and let him take his full glory.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. 100%. Lovely to get a full max. Jody's buzzing with that, as rightly he should be. He's been absolutely fantastic this afternoon. Led from the front, led brilliantly.
And Heat 15, last to first.
Last to first, yeah. Almost what you want to see from a spectator's perspective is the rider of the night missing the gate and having to do the work. Not what Jody wanted.
No.
Although when you have done it that way, it's a bit better.
Yeah, no, that's it. No, it's that's huge for Jody, and that's going to be massive in all aspects for him. Confidence, ability, everything. He's thriving this year.
Here comes the golf cart. And thanks Darryl RITCHINGS for moving over and letting him through there. And the bumps as you'd expect for a 5-ride, 15-point maximum from Oxford Chargers captain Jody SCOTT. Fair play to him. So there is the result of 15. Jody SCOTT with the win. Darryl RITCHINGS in second. Max James third. Ben Morley fourth. 5-1 to the Chargers. That ends this afternoon 55-35. Comprehensive victory and 99-79 on aggregate. And this is a first. I don't think I've seen a celebration on.
No, me neither. It's
before.
The golf cart's a new addition to the track, and it's got going. I'm surprised at that actually. Plenty of weight on there.
Come on, Pete, get on the back.
Maybe that's a new tradition.
Schroeck's not having any of that, is he? He's not having any of that. Great to see. Excellent afternoon. Good racing. Fair play to Leicester. They've really made it work. It was only in those last few heats that the meeting really and truly got away from Oxford. But you didn't ever think that they weren't going to win this one. They've been riding well, trapping, and when you've got a couple of riders, in Darryl RITCHINGS and Jody SCOTT that are piling in big points. Freddy HODDER, 8 paid 9. It's been a great performance and excellent stuff from those home riders.
Yeah, no, that's huge. They're all gelling really well together, and it just goes to show, doesn't it?
Yeah, here we go. Let's run through top to bottom with the scores for you. For the Leicester Lion Cubs, Ben Morley, he ended his afternoon with 7 points from his 5 rides. Harry Fletcher, really unfortunate not to get 2 points in his last outing, but he ends up with no points this afternoon. Jamie Etherington, thankfully walking away from that spill in his last ride. He gets 2 points from his efforts. Max James, he got 5 in the end with a couple of third places and a win to his name. Ryan Ingram, again, really impressed with him. He grew and grew as the afternoon's gone on, and that's a very respectable 4 points for him. And rider of the afternoon for the away side, Cooper Rushen, 5 rides, 5 wins, second place, and a tapes exclusion in there for a full quota of 7 rides, 17 points for him. For the home side, where rider of the night, you've got to be Jody SCOTT, 5 races, 5 wins, looks fantastic, doing it in style in that last ride. Senna SUMMERS, 6 paid 8 for him, great return from that tricky number 2 spot. Arran BUTCHER, similar scoreline, 6 plus 2 for his 8 points, couple of second places, couple of third places for him too. Ashton VALE, 8 plus 1 for him, a race win in there, excellent return. Freddy HODDER, really solid from Freddy at number 5, 3 second places behind Cooper Rushen, and then a paid 1 for his 8 paid 9. Nice for Max to get a point on the board, paid in that last one as well, and Darryl RITCHINGS 11 plus 2 getting him that heat 15. So an excellent afternoon for the Chargers. They'll be delighted with that, Luke.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to dominate, and great to dominate at home too. And like you said before, stamp their authority on the league, and now they're well and truly in the front. Yeah,
they certainly are. So thank you very much for joining us. Rob on camera, Paul on camera, me and Luke in the box here, Andy flicking the switches, and Laura in the pits. Thanks so much for joining us. It is a 99.79 aggregate, so they take that extra point as well. Luke, thanks very much for joining us, buddy.
Thank you. Cheers for having us again.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Thank you everyone for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
See ya.